password is not working.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, folks.
We've got some guests with us today.
Metro Doc, Neil. Hi, Neil.
Tanya, Sam.
Hi, Mike. Tanya.
Mike, of course, yeah.
Who else we got down
Pip,
there?
there's
Oh,
Pip.
Pip's
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, Pipperoonie.
You'll be seeing him in person on, is it Saturday you guys get together?
Yep, Saturday night. Yep. I hope you can make it, Pip, because you weren't sure. Well, not exactly not sure, just require them to let you go, I think.
Uh-oh.
He's just making an excuse. He doesn't really want to see you, Nick, that's all.
Well, I know it's going to be embarrassing for him. I know.
I'm sure. Oh, yeah, I guess I got
Stephen, he's probably going to Evernote on his phone because now I don't see him. I don't see his video thumbnail anymore. Oh,
Yeah,
there he
he's
is.
there.
Yep, I'm
Did you
still
get
here.
the...
Yeah, I
Okay.
got it.
Did you...
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yay.
And we're live. Yes, we are live.
Hello, everybody in the live chat. Hope everybody's doing well.
Well.
For some reason, it feels like Friday to me. I keep thinking it's Friday, but
Yeah, I've been doing the same. I've been a day out all week.
yeah.
I'll be singing in a wedding on Friday, tomorrow.
Oh,
What do you have any special music that you're singing, or just?
No, I'm pretty much just going to be singing mass parts and a couple of the hymns.
Right.
Yeah, nothing special.
No big solo or anything?
No, I don't want to ruin their wedding.
You're so modest. But yeah, you would be
I'm
ruining
just
it.
being honest. Thanks.
Oh,
Can
did I
always
say
count
that
on
out
Liz.
loud?
Yeah, you did. I can always count on Liz having my back and supporting
yeah.
me.
Yeah, with a
Building
knife.
me up.
With a knife right in.
Okay, let's see. What I have here for Stephen is from his home studio in from
Mobile studio?
his mobile studio in San Francisco.
The bay. The city by the bay.
From his mobile.
Oh, say San
studio.
Fran, please.
Oh yeah, that really offends all the.
But, I mean, matter of
Mobile
fact, I
studio.
can see Fred's house from here.
Really?
Excellent.
Go over and see if he's still alive.
Yeah, tell him we haven't seen a lot of him.
Yeah.
I'll go there after.
Where the heck is he?
Um,
Yeah, where's that
what's
Tim
this?
where's that Tim Van Ram? He's the one that gets offended about San Fran.
I know. That's great.
Frisco.
Okay, I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna send it to you, Stephen, and then you can change it if you'd like me to say something differently. Just change it and send it back to me.
Okay.
So we've got
And-
Stefan and Steven, and Steph is going to join us at some point for
Oh, yeah.
Very
briefly.
confusing.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have AJ. It's going to be like a cast of not thousands, but
Let's see, Captain Stefan is from his home studio in Hamburg, retired blue and white A380, B737, A300, and A340 captain from Germany.
Correct.
very
That
good.
work for you?
No,
That's
I
what we
think
had
you should
last
say
time.
from the fatherland.
From the fatherland.
I hope it's not turning that way if I look at my political situation. Anyhow, let's move on.
Yeah, we won't go there.
So you still don't like to actually say Lufthansa? You just like to say blue and white?
No, we can say Lufthansa. It doesn't really mean that.
I didn't think so. Okay, Lufthansa.
They can't fire you now.
Well, I'm still on their payroll, so
Oh,
yep, as a
Don't wanna-
passive
Don't
employee.
jeopardize that.
Yeah, no, you won't. I mean, you don't force me to say anything.
Oh, we will not.
I can
no.
neither confirm or whatever.
Confirm nor deny.
Deny.
Yeah.
You still have deniability.
Yeah.
Culpable. Is that the word? Culpable
Not
deniability?
culpable. It's
Stefan, you seem to have missed out the 380 from your list.
I beg
No,
your
it's the
pardon.
first thing listed.
Oh, so it is. I was going in size. I saw 73, 300, 340, and I thought, well, that'll bound to be the 380 is bound to be the last one because then they're going.
Well, I can make it so.
Yeah.
Here, let me do that. Let me cut that and then put it at the end.
Plausible deniability, Jeff.
Plausible. Thank you.
I'm not a lawyer. I can't say.
Neil Landwarn.
What do you say?
After this curry, he's going to be the Farterland.
The Vaterland.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't had a good curry in a while. Try Acme, Germany. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Frisco is another one that they love.
Oh, yeah. Frisco and San Fran.
San Fran, Frisco.
Yeah.
But if you could put it all together, they like that. San Francisco. Although I've heard people that are actually from that city say these things. And not in
Yeah,
a derogatory
indeed.
way.
Well, they're just very ignorant, I guess. According to
I
Tim
don't know,
Van
just
Ram.
too
He doesn't
particular.
like it. I know he doesn't like it.
Well, then that's why we should do
And
it.
I was going to say, but
He
where is
doesn't
he?
like
We need to insult him, and he's not even here.
I know.
That's true.
Well, okay. Let's see what else we're going to do here. I already
Did
have
you
my
want- did you
recorders
want to-
going.
Did you want to test Roger's audio? Play it a little?
Yes. Oh, I did. That was one of those things I was in the midst
Do you
of
have
doing,
your recorder
and
on yet?
I do. I have both recordings on.
Had a curry in name only on Virgin Atlantic.
That's a shame.
Where is it?
I don't
Well,
like.
they don't usually act that quickly, Tanya, unless it's a really hot one.
Oh, got the yawns this afternoon.
Why is that not working?
You're listening.
Oh, interesting. So the button works, but it's not showing up. It's not changing the title or anything.
You're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show.
The view from our side of the cockpit door.
That sounds good to me.
WAPG.
Do a little bit more.
Airline Pilot Guy.
Airline Pilot Guy, episode 681.
All right.
Yeah.
It's the correct one.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
wanted to make sure it was the correct one because it's not showing up. The name of it's not showing up on my stream deck.
Best to check.
I don't know. What's going on?
All right, we getting close there?
Getting close. We're getting close.
Oh,
Let
look
me.
at, oh, very nice. Stefan. I
Oh,
like
very
it.
good.
Very good.
Very good.
He's showing the flag. Lufthansa's
The flag flies high on the
Lufthansa's the
mast.
flag carrier,
We'll
isn't it?
drink
Greetings,
to the
APG
freedom of
listeners.
the
Join
right.
me, Hillel, for a mini meetup in New York City. Jeff's letting me out of the shower so I can meet up with you on Saturday evening, November 15th, at a location in the Upper West Side. Meet up with me and other community
Does he have the water running in the background? Is that
just-
what we're
I
hearing?
think
Ah, okay.
Just come out
Cool.
the shower.
I gotcha.
Neil, I agree. It's the early dark days that make, and it's very dark here right now. It looks like it's going to rain.
It's very, very dark on this show.
Dark and dingy. Yeah. Yeah, we're in
And
the
I'm
dark
wondering
ages.
Why Nick is already yawning. I'm 1 hour later even than he is.
I know.
I'm an old
He's
man.
He's
That's
just trying to make
right.
us feel bad about making him stay up late. That's all. It's all a show.
Well, we have enough co-hosts, Nick. If you have to go to bed, don't.
Oh, no, I'll just sleep on the show.
Okay, that's good. Just
I'll
don't
just
snore.
sleep over
Would
the
you
microphone.
please not snore too loudly? That's all. Or
Sleep,
turn your
sleep
mic off.
talking. That's what he's going to do. Sleep talking.
A lot of people use podcasts to sleep, to fall asleep.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That's what I
it's
should have
very
done last
popular.
night.
That's Jeff's claim to fame.
Yeah, claim to flame too.
Claim to flame. Claim to
We have
fame.
a podcast in Germany. It's called Einschlafen Podcast, which means to fall asleep podcast. They're talking very
that's-
slowly, nicely.
That's what people do. That's why a lot of people subscribe to this show. They hear me droning on, and then they fall asleep.
Well, they're those videos and podcasts and stuff from Sweden and stuff that's like really slow, like people knitting and stuff like that. Like that'll put you to sleep,
ASMR,
something like
I think
that.
they call it.
I,
Like
I've
you're
already
just hearing
thought
the
of the
sound.
show
Tillman,
title.
there's Tillman. Speaking of German,
Tillman.
Yeah. Hi,
Oh my
Tillman.
gosh, you must have heard that another fellow German was going to be
Yeah.
here on the show today.
Haven't seen
Hi,
him.
Tillman.
Hey, Tillman.
Yeah. Good to see
He's in
you.
Berlin.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's where he lives. I don't know if he's there right now. I'm assuming he is.
And he remembers probably this mug.
Ah, yes, very good.
Ah, yeah.
That's the
I
100.
bet you do,
but-
Pip. I'm sure that's right. Your thing, that knitting podcast is.
Oh,
your
the
thing.
500th. That's right.
Hey, hi, iHall boxes. Hey, so, just to be sure, before we start the show, I want to make sure that I'm not overmodulating on my microphone level.
You seem good to me, but
Sounds
Okay.
good to me.
Just seeing if anybody in the
hi,
actual chat
boxes,
room.
woohoo!
So the show title ought to be The Three Stephs.
Yes, it was Stefan that attracted Tillman to the show. We need to have
Oh, there you go.
Stefan. Yeah.
Otherwise, he wouldn't
doesn't
be
care
here
about
today.
the rest of us. Obviously.
No, apparently not. Thanks,
He's a
Tillman.
man of taste, you know.
Yeah, bad
Bad
taste.
Bye.
You two are like an old married couple.
I know. It's pretty sad, actually.
Okay.
Mike Kuiper says
think-
you sound fine. Oh,
Thank you,
there's-
Mike. Appreciate it.
Did you see the message
Appreciate
from
it.
Steph?
There's
She'll be on in
AJ
a
in-
minute or two.
Yeah, and there's AJ in the chat room.
What's he doing in the chat room?
Well, I guess he's on
Come
his way
here,
home
you
from
old
work,
bugger.
maybe, or something. I only care about Liz. Oh, thank you, Tillman. That's very
I mean, he's got a haircut to
We love you.
rival Stevens.
sweet. Who?
AJ. He had
Oh,
a very
AJ,
short
yeah,
haircut
yeah,
last
yeah.
time he
No, I
was
know.
on.
I'm so used to not seeing him without a hat on. Like, he usually has his ball cap on.
Yeah. You should call it a bald cap.
Bald cap.
For some people, it can be a bald cap. Okay. I'm thinking. Let's see. What am I going
Getting
to use
close?
for?
Getting close?
I guess. Let me check this level.
You got all your recorders on and everything.
I do.
Yeah, that's good.
It might be too loud. Is it too loud? Maybe.
Anti-bald cap, says AJ.
Turn on. I'm going to bring the volume down a little bit more.
Dr. Steph has arrived.
Oh my. Okay.
Ooh, looking good, Steph. I love the bangs.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Bangs. Looking good.
Hi.
You have extra body today, Steph. Yes.
Yep.
Did you get a cut?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got my once every 3 years haircut.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it.
As much as I can
Good.
manage.
3
Thank you.
years.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have time to go.
Yeah, and we've
salon.
got AJ to come too yet, Tanya. So it's going to be like super. But Steffi's just making a drive-by cameo.
Yeah,
appearance.
this is a short appearance. I'm sorry.
Did you get the Jeep fixed? Is the Jeep fixed?
It's not done yet because I really just need tires, but they're doing a couple other service things that were due routine.
Right.
Oil change.
Make sure
there's
you
a
choose the
recall out on
round
it.
ones.
Oh, not the square ones.
Yeah, the round
Let me
ones.
call
Well,
it
you won't notice
I mean,
the
that's-
difference.
Well, the
in
reason
a
I was
Jeep.
running late just now is because they just called me like as I was about to sign on. So when you book these appointments, like when you are getting parts, like you talk to the parts department first to order the parts, make sure they have everything, then book the appointment with service, and then you take it in. So I called to order the tires, and he's like, "Oh, no problem. We have 28 of them in stock." It's like, all right.
That'll do.
Yeah, I need 4, so 28 is sufficient. Turns out they had 0 in stock today for some reason.
No.
So they had to go to their other dealership to collect them, but then they only
frustrating.
delivered 2. So now they're waiting on 2 more to arrive. So,
These guys sound totally incompetent.
you know,
They sound like they could be on APG.
they're very nice.
They fit right in on the show.
yeah.
And I was taking my Jeep to a different dealership when I was working in a different part of town, and it was convenient there, and they were actually very good. But I just don't go to that part of town anymore. This one's right down the road, so.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I should shut that window. That's really
Ah.
great. Hold on.
All right, very good, Steve.
You know what? He is in an area of the country where they do have earthquakes, so we're a little concerned,
No.
Stephen, when you
Please
do
do.
that.
Please do.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be good.
Okay.
I'm going to shut that
All right.
blind behind me.
I guess we are about ready to go.
Okay. Ready
I
when you
think,
are. Ready when you are,
Got all the
Chief.
recorders on just to confirm, make sure that nobody's worried about that. And I guess we should do this.
Okay.
You're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show.
The view from our side of the cockpit door.
Sorry.
WAPG.
For some reason, my thing isn't. Oh, there it goes now. Sorry, there was a delay there when I hit the button.
Oh, it looked like it was working to me.
Oh, well, I couldn't see it working. I'm sorry, Jeff. I couldn't see that it was working here.
Oh, that's all right.
Okay, can we start
Not a
again?
problem.
I'm very sorry.
Yeah. Oh, like like nothing ever happens when I'm doing this stuff. I mean, it happens all the time. What are you talking about? This is normal. Okay.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
Okay, and then let me do one more thing that I thought of when I was listening to that play. I'm thinking I need to share my keynote because I think we're going to start right off with a video.
We are.
Where is that? Presenter display? There it is. Okay, share. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. You ready?
Yep.
You're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show.
The view from our side of the cockpit door.
WAPG. It's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Airline Pilot Guy, episode 681.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Hello, you're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show, the view from our side of the cockpit door, with your host, Captain Jeff, broadcasting live from APG headquarters in Roswell, Georgia. Today's show is recorded the week of October 20th, 2025.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy. Picture light and he's flying by with the Airline Pilot Guy.
In today's episode, the FAA will finally update its much criticized NOTAM system.
They're just a bunch of garbage.
And a helicopter spins out of control and crashes in Southern California. Also ahead, more news and your feedback. So get all settled in. Tray tables and seat backs in the upright and locked positions, electronic devices powered on. I'm Radio Roger, and Flight 681 is ready for pushback.
Thank you, Radio Roger. He's an award-winning TV and radio reporter, currently at the #1 all-news station in the nation, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM in
New York City.
Welcome to the Airline Pilot Guy Show. It's an aviation podcast covering the latest in aviation news and answering your great feedback. I'm Captain Jeff, a former U.S. Air Force pilot and retired Delta Airlines captain. And joining us from her lakeside studio in South... Doctor, skydiver, marathon crusher, IPA connoisseur, and commercial multi-engine instrument-rated backstabbing jumper dumper. It's Dr. Steph.
Marathon crusher, huh? I don't know about that.
That's according to Captain Nick. I'm sure he's the one that adjusted the words.
No, that wasn't me. That'll be AJ.
Well,
Yeah, definitely never Captain Nick adjusting the intro.
No, because AJ's not even here.
Well, anyway, it's great to see you all. Glad to be here, at least for a little while this evening or afternoon.
Yeah, great to have you for as long as we can get you. All right, and also joining us from his Garden View studio in
Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire.
Retired professional dog shooter, former RAF, RAAF fighter pilot, unemployed Airbus A330, A340, exceedingly senior captain for Virgin Over-the-Pond Airways. It's Captain Nick.
Hi there, Jeff. Hi, everybody. So, our show number 681, the Evector Sportstar Max is the US variant of this lovely-looking light aircraft. The Sportstar was the first aircraft to be accepted in the States as a light sports aircraft when the FAA introduced the rule in 2005. Now, this two-seater has an empty weight of only 309 kilos, which is, drum roll please, 681 pounds.
Wow.
Yay.
Very svelte. Yeah.
Yeah, it is actually.
Nice
680.
That's a good-looking airplane.
You could pick it up and put it in your back pocket, couldn't you?
Well, it's kind of bulky for that.
Well,
But
your pockets would be empty when you bought it, so sure.
Yes, probably.
well, good point. All right, very good. Thank you very much, Captain Nick, for that. I mean, no death and destruction. Wow. That's a change.
No,
Thank
no,
you.
just for a change.
Okay, thank you. All right. And also, we have a couple of guest hosts today. We have from his home studio in Hamburg, a retired Lufthansa 737, A300, A340, and A380 captain. From Germany, it's Captain Stefan.
Hi everybody, thanks for letting me on board with my crowdy German, English, English, whatever I'm speaking. Thanks for everybody. Can I tell more?
Yeah. If you can bump up the volume a little bit, it might be because my background music is so loud. Maybe
I
don't
can.
know.
So now I'm fully maximum. Okay, good.
Okay, we're good. We're good. All right. Well, great to have you with us, Captain. And also joining us from his mobile studio in the city by the bay. He's a current charter pilot, former 121 first officer, and survey pilot. It's Stephen Ivey.
Hello, everybody. Happy to be here. And yeah, that's all I got. Just happy to be here.
All right. We're happy that you're here as well. All right. So let me fade that one out and then play this one, of course, from her studio in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It's retired financier and aviation enthusiast, spreadsheet master, and our producer. It's Liz Piper.
Hi, everybody, from the home of the American League champion, Toronto Blue Jays. Woo-hoo!
Yay!
Right.
Yaha! Yeehaw!
Yeehaw!
I don't know what that has to do with
Jeff,
anything, but
you are loud again, Jeff.
No!
Say you're overmodulating a little bit.
Oh dear. Well, why is that happening?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's probably
excited for the intro.
because, let me check my mic settings, because sometimes if I don't have that set properly, when it hears the music in the background, it doesn't know what to do with my voice.
Sounds better now.
Yeah, because it's no longer playing music in the background. Let me look at the audio. No, I don't have echo cancellation or anything selected. It just,
Okay,
I guess
well.
it just didn't know what to do with it.
It's calmed down now.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Well, sorry
everybody,
about
have
that,
a
people.
great show.
Thanks,
Cheers,
Liz.
Thanks, Liz. Oh, by the way, Steph, since you're only going to be here with us for a short period of time, Stefan is using your Unity slot.
Oh, that's fine. I didn't even try to open it.
Okay, just if in case you were trying to figure out why you couldn't hear anything.
Didn't even
Okay.
bother. All right.
All right, very good. All right, thank you, Liz. Let's do some aviation news.
Stand by for news.
All right. We're going to start off with this. This is something that I'm sure many of you have already heard quite a bit about. It is a incident with a 747 in Hong Kong, and have a little bit of video to play from VAS Aviation. So we're going to pop that onto the stage, and I'm going to do this. Oh, I was going to read that first. Okay, let me try that again. Sorry. Back it up. All right. Okay. On the 19th of October, we're recording the show on the 23rd, so just 4 days ago in Hong Kong, ACT Airlines, their Boeing 747-400 Tango Charlie Alpha Charlie Foxtrot performing flight 9788 from Dubai to Hong Kong, landed on runway 7 left and then suddenly veered to the left, collided with an airport vehicle and ditched into the water. The aircraft broke apart. The 4 occupants of the aircraft were rescued, and the 2 occupants of the vehicle received fatal injuries, sadly. So let's watch a little bit of this. Here we go.
Kong approach, good night, Emirates 9788, descending flight level 110, unrestricted, inbound, contact.
Emirates 9788, runway 07 left, turn left direct to lines, meeting high speed.
Direct to lines, and runway U06 left, and high speed approach, Emirates 9788.
All right, no more audio recorded during their arrival, so the video is showing the depiction of them landing on the runway 7 left and about, I don't know, a couple thousand feet down, the Boeing 747-400 starts veering to the left. And as we said before, hit an airport vehicle with 2 passengers, and they were fatally injured. And the aircraft...
Cathay 829 and descend to flight level 130 and enter the holding over Canto.
Descend flight level 130, holding at enter hold at Canto, Cathay 829.
Okay, and so the rest of the video kind of depicts what happened there as far as all the airplanes coming in and issued holding instructions, etc., while they tried to work out what was happening and had the crash rescue fire vehicles respond to the accident site, etc. So let's see. I think I have some other video, but it's kind of like B-roll. So if you could put that up there, Liz, and then keep us on there. Yeah, thank you. And that way we can kind of watch that as I read some of the narrative from FlightRadar24.com. According to initial reports from Hong Kong authorities, an Air ACT Cargo 747 veered off the runway, as we said, striking a ground vehicle and going over the seawall. The aircraft came to rest in the water with its tail detached. The accident happened at 1953 Coordinated Universal Time. On 19 October, that's 3:53 local time. I guess that's in the middle of the night, right? 03:53. According to police, one of the occupants, both of the occupants of the ground vehicle died. The Air ACT 747 was operating for Emirates Sky Cargo as Flight 9788 from Dubai to Hong Kong. The flight touched down on runway 7 left. They veered off the runway approximately 5,000 feet from the runway threshold. Based on visual evidence from the scene showing the aircraft along the seawall, the 747's tail was severed as it went into the sea. The weather at the time looked like just a scattered, actually few clouds at 3,500 feet. So mostly clear skies and a little bit windy, mostly light winds, and then some gusts to 21 knots. So like the 20Z METAR showing 020 at 4 knots, gusting to 21. So a little bit of wind coming from the northeast. Again, they were landing on 7, so a little bit of a gusty crosswind from the left. So far, we don't have any idea exactly what happened there, if it was some kind of a mechanical failure or some kind of a misapplication of controls. But, we do, when I heard about this incident, I thought about our APG community member, Nigel. He likes to call himself Hong Kong Nigel because he used to be based in Hong Kong. I asked him to be on the show with us today, but it's like in the middle of the night right now, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, something like that. So he said, I'm going to take a pass, but I'm going to record some audio for you for the show. So let's hear from Nigel.
Hello, Captain Jeff, crew, and APG community. This is Hong Kong Nigel. Thanks for asking me if I can offer any insights into operating 747s in Hong Kong. Young fellows must recall, I retired 13 years ago, and this archaic dinosaur doesn't fly. And that's just reminding Captain Jeff he called me archaic in APG 652.
Sorry.
I'm not really into Monday morning quarterbacking, and that's best left to the Civil Aviation Department, CAD. They'll do an inquiry, but maybe I can paint some colours into the early picture. I certainly don't know anything about Emirates or Turkish operations or their flight time limitations, etc. They apparently had 4 crew. The jet had been operating a return Dubai-Hong Kong-Dubai shuttle over the previous few days, with about 3 hours on the ground to reload. It landed empty, so it's probably just filling up with cargo, and it should be able to do that in time. You can put about £250,000 of cargo on a jumbo, so it probably makes it quite economical. They might have had new crew in the hotel to replace these guys, but I'm guessing that one pair flew outbound to Hong Kong, and then the others would fly the return leg. You don't really need 4 pilots for a 7-hour flight. They'd left Dubai in their late afternoon and were landing about midnight body time. That's assuming they were all rested and acclimatized in the Middle East before they started. Of course, out of the 4, there might have been some observers or checkers, maybe not even 4 pilots, so that's only a guess. CAD will come out with some info shortly, maybe even before the show in a couple of days' time. It's an old converted passenger plane, so the front part of the upper deck is isolated from the cavernous main deck and its cargo. Upstairs you probably have about 8 seats, a galley, a toilet, situated behind the cockpit, possibly even a bunk or 2. Personally, I found a light jumbo a bit harder to land smoothly in the right place than a heavier one, because with the heavier one you have excellent ground effect at the higher weights and speeds. And that's obviously missing when you're lighter and lower speed. Whatever, runway lengths wouldn't have been a factor now. I'm guessing an empty jumbo would approach at about 140 knots, maybe with a VREF as low as 130. It seems they did a pretty simple radar track over the sea from the southwest with the longest straight-in approach onto runway 07 left. I've never landed on that runway because it's an addition since I left. Hong Kong now has 3 parallel runways, and that's the northerly one, which is furthest from the cargo apron. The weather was reasonably benign. The wind's about 50 degrees off from the left, calm, but with 21 knot gusts. So you'd need to consider all of the crosswind and half the gust, i.e. 20 knots of crosswind, 10 knot gust factor. It's a bit weird to gust 20 knots from calm, but whatever, still well within everyone's limits. Might have given some changing conditions in the flare, perhaps. The hills to the north, off to the left, might have had something to do with it, i.e. the gusts, although they are quite a ways away. However, this wind is significantly less than the China Airlines MD-11 when it was landing in the opposite direction on the southern runway closer to the bigger hills during a typhoon. That crashed too, mainly due to the northerly crosswind gusts and insufficient control authority. This was an old jet, 30 years or so. We have no idea how good the maintenance is. All sorts of mechanical issues could be involved, e.g. the brakes, tyres, reverses failing, nose wheel steering. You can smack a new Dumbo down pretty hard in full crab and nothing should break, even at max landing weight. And as we saw, a Kalita Jumbo recently landed in Anchorage without one of the main gears and stopped on the runway without veering off. This jet skidded to the left into the wind. We don't know whether the handling pilot was on his first flight in a Jumbo, or whether, as I've seen in other airlines, an extra pair of hands or feet suddenly appear on the controls during the flare. I shake my head regretfully at the extreme bad luck of the guys who died in the car on the perimeter track. I'm assuming that's where they were. I doubt the car was on the runway and caused the accident. A Jumbo would brush it aside. Yeah, it would be a bit of a bang, but that's about it. On the upper deck, the evacuation is via 2 very long slide rafts, one either side. The right-hand one, towards the sea, is already deflated in the photos, if indeed it ever actually inflated fully. Certainly, the extra crew would operate both doors to escape. With the shock of the landing, crashing and spinning around at night, it would have been quite disorientating. However, the left slide raft looks as if they could evacuate very easily, probably walking all the way to the land rocks without getting wet, and carrying their crew bags, perhaps. So I make no guesses, but hope I've added something useful to the early picture. The CAD are quite efficient and will do a pretty good job of lining up all of the Funyuns. Wishing you well, the most prestigious of them all, Hong Kong Nigel.
He always remembers every single thing that I say about him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nigel, for he does. He's keeping track of everything. I have to be careful about. I love Nigel. Thank you very much, Captain, for taking the time to submit the information, and thank you also for incorporating the Funyuns into your audio feedback as well. So now I'm going to defer to the 2 jumbo jet captains that we have here on the panel today to kind of maybe put in their 2 cents worth of what they think may have happened to this.
Jumbo?
Captain
Jumbo?
Stefan? Yeah.
Jumbo? Jumbo jet
Yeah,
isn't
Jumbo.
that? Yeah, well, that's not a jumbo. Jumbo jet is it's a Boeing, isn't it? It's loud. Okay. How
Yeah.
about now? Better? Is it better now?
Something in between the two, actually.
Something in between the two. I'm just making 2-3 millimeters here. So
There you go.
well, I could excuse myself saying, but when I landed there, this runway didn't exist. Also, it's brand new runway, which I don't know. But I assume what happened maybe is some technical difficulties. I put a picture in the Evernote in your note system, the last one in it, which shows inspections on the runway after the landing, and you could see some skid marks on the apron on the runway leaving towards the end of the airport perimeters. And usually a tire doesn't make a skid mark unless it's skidded or moving sideways or something. So maybe it was a mechanical failure. That's what I'm guessing here in that case. That's why they veered off the runway. But it's hard to tell.
Well, let me
It's
see if
interesting,
I can pull that
Stefan, that it occurred at about 90 or 100 knots-ish. That'd just be the transition point between steering the aircraft aerodynamically and having to rely on nose wheel steering or differential braking or whatever. So I'm just wondering if they had been able to keep it straight up to that point because they had good rudder authority, but then something happened with the braking that caused them to drift off.
I was also going to say maybe someone grabbed the tiller a little too early.
Yeah, good point.
It's
but
possible.
if you grab the tiller at that speed and turn it that way, usually the nose wheel starts to skid. I mean, if either you make a very fast movement, and if you're oversteering very fast at that speed with the tiller, I don't think so actually, and it's really against any SOPs doing that. I mean.
So looking at this photo that you sent us, Stefan, with the skid marks, too loud again? Darn it! I don't know what's going on. So are you saying that that those are main gear tire skid marks from what you can tell there, and not nose wheel?
I mean, I'm not flowing a 747, but I would say so because there are two parallel tire tracks. Yes, I would say so. Maybe it's from maybe the wing and the body gear making these skid marks. It's not one single track doing that, but the whole right side or the left side of the aircraft.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah, I can see nothing further down the runway, so they would appear to be the most right hand of the gear. Now that could be the nose wheel at that point, and then the trailing body gear on the starboard side, the right hand side as well. But to me, they're quite telling because they don't look like I don't know. They don't look like they're anti-skid marks because they would be broken. They do look like it might be scuffing tires. So I'm thinking that might be nose wheel tires, at least one of the sets. Hard to know. I'm not that familiar with 747, but the configuration isn't that different from a 340 or a 380. Just lots of bloody wheels.
Tires? What is that? Scuffing tires?
Yeah. Well, if you've turned the nose wheel steering too far and the tires are rubbing,
okay.
They're not really steering the aircraft anymore, but they're just rubbing and leaving rubber on the surface. I don't know. But we're going to find out. It should be relatively easy. I was just going to point out that the point at which I became a civil pilot, a 747 had run off the runway at the old airport, Kai Tak, and ended up in the water off the end of the runway. Not as same as this. That bloke, China Airways, I think it was, just landed too deep, couldn't stop, ran off the end, and it was full of passengers in this 747-400. But the thing that amused me about that, they got everyone off all right. It was fine. It was that the fin was sticking up into the air right off the end of the runway. So they
like a
had
shark
to close the
like in the
airport
water.
because there was this new obstacle had suddenly appeared. This huge
Oh, you could just NOTAM
747
that.
fin. Yeah, so they probably did.
You know.
In the end, they got the Hong Kong, army, though, or I think it was probably still British at that point. I'm not sure. It was 93, so had the handover taken place? I don't think so.
Ooh.
So
not
they
quite, I don't think.
Yeah, they got the army to come down and blow the fin off the back of the aeroplane with explosives so that they could carry on operating.
I put a picture in the chat system where you can see how similar the situation looks in the WhatsApp chat. Maybe you can pull it up very quick. I don't know.
You keep challenging me.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Is that the incident that Captain Nick was telling us
Yeah,
about?
exactly.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
Hang on. I think I can do that. Okay. Let me go over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on. I got this. I think so. Yeah. Here we go.
Oops, I'm sorry.
There we go. I couldn't separate the two, but the one on the bottom is the one to which Captain Nick was referring.
Yeah, 1993 that was, as I recall.
Mm-hmm.
And the changeover was in 97, so yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I put them together so that you cannot put them apart. That's why. Okay.
Yeah. So apparently the 747s like being in the water.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah.
At that particular angle to the seawall too.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, it's quite similar. I'm obviously very upset about the two guys. What bad luck. I mean, you don't really expect a 747 to come hoofing across the airport at you as you're driving around the perimeter. So very sorry for them, but glad that all the crew got off safely because the airplane looks quite a mess, doesn't it?
Yeah, certainly does.
I think duct tape won't be enough. No.
Yeah.
Oh, indeed.
That's
yes.
true. It's a front loader. Yeah. Okay.
Well, my company did accident also in '84 on Kai Tak Airport. They also aborted the takeoff pass we won, and shouldn't have done that. And it didn't end it well because they skidded off the runway. I mean, I think they did that accident by purpose to give them more space because there was more, before they were sliding into the water. And they stopped on the ground, but the aircraft was basically torn all the way on the button, but they fixed it. Because it was at that time they really desperately needed the aircraft. There was no new one, so if you Google for pictures for the Lufthansa accident, a cargo airplane accident, and at Kai Tak, it's very astonishing that they got that fixed. And it was, I think, 2.5 tons heavier after the repair.
Wow.
Some extra metal added to the...
extra bolts, nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
Wow.
They stuck a few boiler plates underneath it, riveted some stuff on, and
Now, I have zero experience flying into Hong Kong, but on the ATC instructions, they said something about high speed approved. Did they mean they're below 10,000 feet airspeed, or did they mean high speed exit? Just kind of get clarification on that.
They don't normally need approval to take high speed exit, but it would be high speed below 10. In other words, no 10,000 foot speed restrictions. Unlike America, where that is sacrosanct, other countries are allowed to use their discretion.
Yeah, and I think as I recall, the arrival in Hong Kong, they have lots of speed restriction on all the way down. So if they cancel those, maybe they can use normal speeds basically on the approach.
All right, very good. Well, we'll just have to wait and see what the CAD comes up with in their investigation.
Oh, yeah.
We'll definitely follow up on this.
Now, Nigel did mention winds at this place and the high ground. The high ground is off to the south of these runways. And when you get a southerly wind, those mountains there create a lot of rotors and turbulence, and they have very sophisticated turbulence indicators based around the airport to give warning of wind shear. But wind from the north is usually fairly benign, particularly since they were on the northerly runway. There's not a lot. There's just sea, really, and then the higher ground is quite some distance.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to just wait and see what they come up with in their preliminary investigation.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on then to, let's go from big jumbo jet fixed wing airplanes to a whirlybird accident in Huntington Beach, California. And we have some video to play. Thank you, Les. Here we go.
Now at 11, 5 people hospitalized after this helicopter suddenly drops from the sky, leaving beachgoers in disbelief. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the news at 11. I'm Rick Chambers.
And I'm Creed Winter. The helicopter spiraled out of control and it crashed into a parking lot near the beach.
5 people, including 3 on the ground, had to be taken to the hospital. The shocking video shows the moment that helicopter veers dangerously close to a building before nosediving into the trees in front of a hotel.
KTLA's Sarah Walsh is live in Huntington Beach with the latest tonight on the investigation. Hi, Sarah.
I don't think that was a nosedive. I'm looking at that video, but okay.
But nosedive sounds so good.
Yeah, that's true.
Rick and Karine, tonight the FAA and NTSB are leading this investigation. Let me step out and you can see the wreckage behind me tonight. When the helicopter crashed, it was just feet from the hotel, busy PCH, and a beach packed with eyewitnesses enjoying the air show.
I changed his mind.
A joyful event.
Oh my God, oh my God.
Turns to chaos.
Run.
Spectators scramble for safety while watching the helicopter spin out of control.
Just frightening.
Aviation photographer Roy Roush was shooting the helicopters as they arrived one by one for the annual Cars and Copters at Huntington Beach.
He was shooting the helicopter? No wonder it went out of the sky.
Yeah,
we do
absolutely. Eventually,
flybys there, and then they come around and land one by one. Just on a flyby in front of the 12th floor of the hotel behind me.
But as it approached the parking area around 2 p.m.,
oh my God!
Witnesses saw the rotor fly off the tail and the aircraft crash, wedged between palm trees and the bridge walkway that goes to the Hyatt Hotel across PCH.
Literally right over my head.
Kurt Johnston was just feet from the crash.
It's almost like something in a nightmare.
Officials confirmed 5 people, 2 people on board and 3 others on the ground were rushed to the hospital with injuries. Video shows a child being pulled from under the wreckage.
There was an old man, about 85, Asian man, that had a cut in the back of his head, and he was trying to get a rag so he could stop the bleeding.
They took the pilot out and he gave the thumbs up, so I think he's in okay shape.
The helicopter is an extremely rare Bell 222, made famous from an 80s TV show called Airwolf.
The police were telling us to move because they thought it was going to explode.
What caused the malfunction is not yet known.
Hitting the trees, I think, might have softened the blow because it kind of came down wedged between trees and the building. It's a total miracle. It could have landed right on Pacific Coast Highway, which is right behind us here.
And tonight, as you look live at the wreckage here in Huntington Beach, there's been no official release on any victims' names or conditions. Tomorrow's event that features exotic cars and helicopters and benefits the Huntington Beach Police and Community Foundation will go on as scheduled. But Rick and Karine, tonight the organization is, of course, sending prayers to all of those involved in this accident. We'll send it back to you in Hollywood.
Okay. Sorry about that. I'm wondering, RJ, Ranjit, he lives in Huntington Beach, and for some reason he declined to be on the show today with us. I don't know if he has anything to do with this or not, but I don't know. Yeah, see, in the hospital, I don't know. Anyway, so this is an interesting accident. And we have actually one of our community members sent us some feedback, and it might be a good idea for me to maybe read that right now. Liz, what do you think? Okay. From Ahmad Danhamadou in Nigeria. He says, hello, my feedback is on last weekend's helicopter accident at Huntington Beach. Let's see, my take on the accident. Let's see, disclaimer he puts at the very beginning. You are not obliged to take seriously what I've said below since investigations have not been concluded. It's just my 2 cents on what could have happened. Could be correct, partially correct, or incorrect in my assumptions, and therefore I stand, these are my assumptions, and I therefore stand to be corrected by investigation results. But, you know, he is obviously taking the APG pledge of 50% accuracy guarantee, maybe even higher, possibly. Firstly, as much as some people have described the owner of the ill-fated Bell 222 helicopter who was on board at the time as being a risk taker, I'm convinced beyond any reasonable doubt that he was a disciplined pilot. Reports say that he wasn't even the one flying at the time. Rather, it was his younger accomplice at the controls. Secondly, there are indications in the video for the discerning viewer that mechanical failure caused the loss of control and not pilot error. Otherwise, why would such a stable approach that transitioned into the start of a stable descent suddenly turn into a sudden yaw, followed by a sudden descent, followed by an exacerbation of the yaw into a wild, sustained spin? Below is my deduction of what may have happened. And he said, I look forward to the statement of the pilot flying of what he experienced throughout his commanded approach to the landing zone from cruise flight. He says, number one, video footage of the stable approach shows that the tail rotor seemed to be spinning at an unusually slow speed. This shouldn't be taken literally because video cameras have an issue with how they see certain rhythmically turning or spinning objects, which is not the same, but definitely related to the stroboscopic effect. Nevertheless, the tail rotor seemed unusually slow. The speed seemed unusually slow. Since it is a smaller span rotor, I would expect its spinning speed to be the same or higher than the spinning speed of the main rotor in order to provide anti-torque effect against the engine's effort to spin the main rotor. I won't be surprised if the pilot flying explains that as he was approaching the landing zone, he instinctively and reflexively felt the urge to start applying more and more yaw control by slowly but progressively pressing one of the yaw pedals that controls how much sidewash or tail rotor thrust to one side is produced in order to keep the helicopter steady directionally. He probably applied the relevant pedal fully to maintain a steady heading by the time he started the controlled descent. At this time, the failure of the tail rotor coupling was also gradually increasing and losing contact with the torque being supplied from the transmission shaft running the length of the helicopter's tail boom. Once the structural failure of the tail rotor coupling had been completed before its detachment, torque from the two engines meant to spin both tail and main rotors was no longer tamed by the failing tail rotor coupling. This resulted in the untamable spin of the helicopter in the direction opposite of its spinning main rotor. The reason for the sudden gain in altitude or height preceding the spin is a result of the sudden reduction in load imposed on the engine's effort to spin both of the rotor systems. Once the tail rotor had lost contact with the main rotor through that long transmission shaft, a sudden reduction of workload on the engine resulted, which led to a sudden increase in main rotor speed, which would translate to sudden increase in the main rotor's effort to lift the helicopter higher instead of maintaining height. He said, I watched the spin carefully, listened to the sound of both rotors as well as the engines, and observed a noticeable decrease in the sound of the engine. I assume that the pilot made an instinctive, reflexive lowering of the collective to reduce engine power so that the spinning could be tamed somewhat. This was like an effort to help keep the helicopter from spinning too much, too fast, and drifting to another location. It looked like the pilot wanted to keep the helicopter near those trees for a cushioned fall to the ground. He certainly and thankfully got that, he put in parentheses. That would be one heck of a remarkable airmanship through reflexive thinking, if I do say so myself. Just an aside, this is Jeff speaking. I'm looking at the video and thinking, I don't think he had any control whatsoever about where that helicopter was going after that spin and the rotor went flying off, the tail rotor. That's just me, but again, I think it just worked out well for them that it ended up hitting those trees and not something a lot harder. But anyway, so he continues with a little bit more in his feedback. We'll have all of that in the show notes. You can. So thank you, Ahmad, for sending in that feedback. And Tanya in our live audience says, "I'm not a fan of helicopters." Yeah, especially after you see something like this, Tanya. Yeah.
Or hot air balloons.
Yeah, so I'm going to say, well, we have an expert here that is a huge fan of helicopters and hot air balloons. Captain Nick, what's your take on this?
I can't comment, Jeff, because one, I'm biased, and two, I really know nothing about helicopters. I will say that the bit that we saw depart the aircraft after it had done about two and a half turns in its uncontrolled spin, I don't think that was the tail rotor. I think that was probably more likely to be one of the aerodynamic wings that were mounted on the tail, just couldn't cope with the forces that were being applied on it. I mean, I might be wrong, but if it was the tail rotor, the failure had occurred, 2 turns before that. So, why it would choose that moment to fly off, I don't know. But no, I think undoubtedly the pilot lost control of his ability to yaw the aircraft, keep the aircraft, and oppose the torque of the main rotor, so it obviously starts to spin. Just to keep the damn thing vaguely upright, I think was well done from his point of view. But the so little, I think, that the average helicopter pilot can do when he's got an aircraft that appears to be as crippled as his was. So I mean, just
even
think
when
it was
everything's
very
working as it's supposed
result.
to, it's kind of difficult to control, right?
Exactly. I mean, you try rubbing your head and patting your tummy, or it's really hard. Yeah. Steph is probably any of the Stevens or Stephs can probably comment more on this than me.
Well, I can only say how you orientate in a helicopter spinning at 1 rotation per second, or make it 1 rotation every 2 seconds. How you can orientate and navigate and look where you land. I think it was just pure luck where you landed.
Yeah,
you're getting dizzy. No.
Yeah, and that sequence was pretty quick too. It wasn't like it was a lot of time to make any sort of plans.
No.
But I don't really have much more to add about helicopters. I know very little about them.
Neil Lanwarn in our audience says, I was sure I heard Nick he had joined the Rotary Club. Sure. That's a support group for helicopter pilots. Yeah. Are you part of or did you join the Rotary Club, Captain Nick?
No, I joined the Fixed Wing Club, but not the Rotary Club.
Okay.
Sorry.
He was mistaken. What do you think, Steve and Ivy? Do you have any experience flying helicopters, or? Oh, we don't hear you for some reason. You're not muted though on StreamYard. That's interesting. But if you could just give us some sign language, then we'll just interpret that. We'll go ahead and translate your sign language.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, we can.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I sorry. No, I don't have any experience with helicopters, but I think any helicopter pilot would tell you at that point you're kind of at the mercy of the whatever failure's going on. You don't have a whole lot of control of the situation.
Yeah.
Hard to glide a helicopter.
I agree with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Auto rotation. Auto rotation.
Not quite this. Yeah.
No.
And in this case, there was absolutely no control to even do an auto rotate, right? I mean, that was just along for the ride.
Yeah.
All right. And we're going to get RJ to report on this, since that happens to be his backyard. Well, not literally, but
he has a nice house. That building is beautiful. If that's his backyard.
Yeah, that is very nice.
So he has
some work done. Invited us.
Landscaping
to his
work.
Home. Yeah. Excuse me. All right. So Liz, can we do the next news item and then maybe move on to some feedback after that? Okay. All right. Well, again, on this helicopter accident, we'll have to wait and see what they come up with, what happened here. But it definitely looks like some kind of a mechanical failure there. This news item, next one here, the source of this is from aerotime.aero. The FAA launches new NOTAM system after decades of pilot complaints. Yeah, we have to definitely play the applause for that. So I'm hoping that this actually, does something good for the NOTAM system. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration has rolled out the first phase of a new Notice to Airmen system, replacing infrastructure that dates back to the 1980s and has long been criticized by pilots for its complexity and frequent outages. The new platform, called the NOTAM Management Service, the NMS, went live on September 29, 2025, so not even a full month ago yet, and is now distributing alerts to early adopters. U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said the rollout was completed months ahead of schedule, calling it proof of the government's commitment to modernizing the national airspace system. Here's a quote from Duffy. This is the promises made, promises kept administration. And he said, we're bringing our aviation system into the 21st century at lightning speed to enhance safety in our skies. The new NOTAM system is an important proof point of how we can quickly and effectively modernize our skies. Okay, so
took them a quarter of a century to join the 21st century. Is that what you were laughing about?
Stephen Ivey is
shaking his head.
I see him shaking his head in a negative way. What's your take on this, Stephen? Since you're still actively flying in this world?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, okay, sorry. So I mean, yes, it did need to be fixed, but like my primary service I use is ForeFlight, which takes the raw data and makes it into something that's usable, which is really nice. So, I'm afraid for me, this new system's going to break that. But at the same time, again, like you said, it's 50 years to improve it, or 30, 40, whatever it is. And then out of all the stuff going on, this is you're proud that this has been fixed. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, okay, cool, you fixed it, but I think there's more important things you should be focusing on given what's going on in some of the airspace. But
well, I think that Stephen is kind of a skeptic here in this case.
One more thing too. Even if you fix the system, it doesn't fix how people enter or what NOTAMs they put in. For instance, I went to a major college football event a couple weeks ago, and the NOTAM said that there was no parking. You could only drop off. But it didn't say you couldn't land. So the assumption was that you were just going to come and drop off and keep going. Well, if you operate like my company does, you got to get permission to go somewhere. You got to have a flight plan. Well, I didn't have that. So when I landed, they got all upset because I just didn't keep rolling. But I was like, well, NOTAM doesn't say that. It just says there's no parking available. It doesn't say that I can't, hang out and just taxi around or something. And they didn't like that, but they're like, well, you should know. I'm like, that's not what your NOTAM says. So even if you fix the system, people have to actually enter the right information into the NOTAM. Mm-hmm. So I think that's probably something else to think about. Yes, you have a new system, but what about everybody that inputs NOTAMs into the system?
Garbage in, garbage out is what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well, so I have a question. I'm sorry. The article says they modernize the back office, but the output is still the same. All capital letters, NOTAMs, looking with lots of birds and cranes and everything. It's still the same.
That's my question. It's very similar. So, did they consolidate things? Are there fewer NOTAMs? Have they organized them in some sort of logical fashion, like most important first, instead of just by date created, so that you can find the things that actually matter? I'm unsure what the new system actually looks like as of yet.
Well, that's what I was just scrolling for. Like, is there a link where you can look at this?
I don't see that, and it said it was just a small group of people. I guess they were rolling out this system to a selected group of users. Unfortunately, it looks like none of us here are amongst the list of users, maybe losers, but not users. Have you seen anything, Steph? I know you use ForeFlight as well, correct?
I do. I don't see any appreciable change in how NOTAMs are displayed as of yet. It's still similar.
Yeah. Well, I'm hopeful that this will be an improvement, but as you say, Stephen, it's also going to depend upon the humans that are inputting the data into the system, and maybe they need the training to understand how to make it a little bit more useful and effective.
Yeah.
I've got a wee bit of a question. The FAA isn't in charge of NOTAMs. The FAA administers NOTAMs in the United States, but ICAO sets the standard for the production, sets the guidelines for how NOTAMs are written in Annex 15 of the Convention on International Civil Aviation. So I'm not quite sure how free a hand the FAA has to change the NOTAM system, because they can't easily go against ICAO's guidelines for how NOTAMs and the infrastructure are set up. So that's a bit of a question from me.
Yeah, I don't know the answer there.
I feel like this might be more of a back-end system, how it's like compiled, maybe more so than what a NOTAM looks like. I think like it's infrastructure improvement.
Okay. The FAA says that the new national NOTAM system, the U.S. NOTAM system, is cloud-hosted, designed for resilience, and built with a modern architecture that supports near real-time data sharing. The agency promises the system will make it easier for pilots, airlines, and air traffic controllers to share the information while also running more smoothly and reliably than the outdated systems it will replace. I will say, though, that when you are cloud hosting things, like many of the major airlines around the world have experienced in the last decade or so, it doesn't always work out super well.
So I was just going to say, I did some Googling and I found the new portal for it, and it has the metrics for what it currently is doing. So there's only 5 users on the new system, and they have over 69,000 active NOTAMs as of today. And the whole airspace has over 340,000 NOTAMs active. So just to give you an idea of the data they're processing.
You know, I hesitate to be too critical about all of this, though, guys, because we've been complaining about the NOTAM system for such a long time. At least maybe they're making a little bit of progress toward improving things. I mean, as I said, I hate to be too down on it.
They are trying. They are trying.
So, Captain Nick, more to your point, I also did a little bit of Googling, and if it's to be believed, the FAA has been using a different format from ICAO, which is more narrative and apparently more prone to it's just more difficult to find the relevant information. So they're actually switching more to the standardized format that ICAO uses.
Oh,
interesting. As part of the improvements.
Okay. Huh. Oh, we'll see.
That's what Google says. So that's my source.
Yeah, we'll have to contact Sean Duffy. Liz said she's working on it, and we'll have him on the next show, and we'll interview him and learn more about the system.
Please let me join.
Although we do have a representative, though, of the U.S. government air traffic control system that's just joined us. No, he's shaking his head. No. Hello, AJ. How are you? Oh, nope. He's saying, I'm out of here. He's saying, I'm not going to say a thing about this. So
yeah, not it. That's not me. Nope.
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 Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know what I was talking about. I must
just
have
watched a YouTube video.
Yeah. Anyway, well, we're going to finish our coverage of the new NOTAM system, and we're going to quickly say hello to AJ, who has just joined us. How are you, sir?
Hello. I'm here. I'm good. Made it through another battle of traffic for another day.
I bet it was fun. Okay, well, great to see you, sir. And
as well.
Perfect timing. We were just about to do our next segment, which is my favorite, Getting to Know Us. That's the segment of the show where we kind of get all caught up with what everybody has been doing between shows since the last time they were on the show. And a couple of these people, it's been a long, long time since they've been on the show with us. I'm sorry, Liz? Oh, okay. We're going to do Steph first because she's got to go. So, Steph, have you been doing anything in the, I don't know, last couple of weeks? Anything interesting?
No.
Doesn't have to be aviation related at all.
Well, there was a little bit of aviation related stuff. I flew
Oh, yeah?
jumpers last Saturday, this past weekend. So it was a very busy day.
Okay.
We basically went, it was a beautiful fall October day. We basically went sunrise all the way to sunset without hardly taking a break. So it was a super busy day. And then it was too windy the next day. So we did nothing, which I was actually a little grateful for because 10 hours was a lot of flying on Saturday.
That is a lot.
Yeah. It was fun. It was great though. It was a very good day, very efficient day. It was good to see so many people out and wanting to jump out of airplanes. So it was a lot of fun. Other things, non-aviation related things. I talked to you guys. I don't think I've talked to you guys since I did the Chicago Marathon.
No.
Earlier this month. So I was well trained for it. I unfortunately did not feel very great on the day. Just not really sick, but not really 100%. So still managed to run, I think, my third fastest marathon time ever. So
very good.
So it was still good.
Nice.
Yeah. It
Good
wasn't really
job.
what I had trained for, but it was, I can't be disappointed with that. Beautiful fall day in Chicago also. 60 degrees, sunny, man, Chicago really, it was on, their best display this year too, with just the crowd support was incredible. The energy was great. The city seemed very clean. I think they've been working on that for a long time now, but I was almost having like Tokyo deja vu where I was carrying my trash around from having, picked up some fast food or something, and there were no trash cans. I was like, didn't there used to be trash cans like on the street corners here in Chicago? Like they got rid of them and everything was very clean. It was bizarre. So I don't know. Maybe I was just in a weird part of town, but I don't think so. It was the loop.
They just don't have trash there anymore. They don't need the trash.
I mean, just Japan style. You got to carry all your trash back home with you.
Yeah.
So, so there was that. That was a really fun weekend. Got to see family, friends. There's always a good crowd of people I know running big marathons. So that was really enjoyable. And then what else? This weekend, the reason I have to go here fairly soon is I have an Ironman 70.3 race, a half Ironman on Saturday. My bike is not yet fully assembled. It's downstairs. I'm working on that right now. I had the day off of work today to get a whole bunch of errands and other things done that I need to do. Doing that with my youngest brother, and he's on his way here right now. I have to pick him up from the airport in about 2 hours. So I need to get my bike assembled, still finish a couple other things. I have my Jeep is currently in the shop getting some new tires and other routine maintenance, and it's not yet finished either, so I need to pick that up hopefully sometime before I have to go to the airport. So it's going to be a busy evening, and then also hopefully get some sleep because I have to drive to Wilmington, North Carolina tomorrow morning because that's where the race is. So yeah, it's been a fun couple of weeks. Some running, some athletic stuff, some flying, still a lot of work.
I have a question. How do you do 25 jump runs in a day? Did you
We
ever
did 30 on Saturday. We did 30. That ties my record for daytime, or for a full day of jump runs. My actual record is 32, but we did night jumps that time. But my daytime record is 30, so I tied it. Yeah.
That's with hot refueling
yeah, we
and all
hot fuel.
that stuff.
We don't. Yeah, we don't shut down.
No. Okay.
So
yeah.
We did have one 15-minute break.
Yeah.
After
slacker.
I think after load number 25. So.
Wow.
And that was the weekend after I ran the marathon. I got out of the airplane and my legs forgot how to support me. So.
Did you collapse?
No, but it felt awkward.
Wow.
So I ran around a little bit and then I got back in and we squeaked out.
I'm just worn out just listening to you. describe everything that you do. It's like, wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. I had the day off of work today, and I was like, "Oh, nice, a day to rest and relax." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I still swam this morning. I had to drop my car off. I ran back from the dealership, which is like 5 miles away, and then I actually had to go.
You actually ran back from the dealership to your house?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to clear that.
As you do, don't we?
It's almost 6 miles. It's not quite 6 miles.
Okay,
So it's
Fair.
casual run. And then I had some errands to run. I actually had to go down and talk to the FBO at one of the nearby airports about some to use their facilities, some overnight parking coming up next month because of some construction work and NOTAMs affecting us at our home airport. And then, I just wanted to get the actual fees in writing so that, because I looked it up online, but wanted to make sure that was accurate. And then, been working on stuff around the house. And I got to get packed.
Okay. Wow. You're an amazing woman.
Unbelievable.
I don't know how you do that.
I had to join you guys for
Thank you for joining us. I mean, we are so honored that you had enough time to at least make an appearance here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'm going to stick around through the end of getting to know us because I want to hear what everyone else has been up to, and then I will probably say goodbye before we move on to news.
Okay. Oh, we have already done that, though. You mean the feedback?
I'm sorry, feedback. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
See? Oh, see, she is a little fatigued.
Cracks in the yeah. No, I was just looking at my Evernote and it said news, and I just read that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
But I did.
Okay. Great to see you. Thank you for getting us caught up with a little bit about what you've been doing last several weeks, and I guess we can let's talk to Stephen Ivy in San Francisco. Obviously at work or in the middle of a rest break. Let us know. It's been a while since you've joined us, Stephen. What's been going on in your life?
I actually don't remember the last time I was on. But I had another child, so I have 2 kids now, and that child's actually 1 already. So
wow.
Yep. So and
it's
then
been a while. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, thank you. I know it's been a while. I also transitioned back to the Challenger as a captain back in January, and then had my first recurrent with it in August. Passed it, and then I've been flying a lot. And then as far as stuff going at home, my wife had a knee surgery back in August, so I've been trying to help her recover from that. Unfortunately, she's been having a lot of issues with the actual, not the knee surgery, but the where they opened up her leg to do the work. A lot of infections been going on, and it's been an ongoing thing, and we're both very tired of it. So we're hopefully at the end of the tunnel there. But other than that, I've had some really weird stuff happen with some of the people I've flown. Just stuff you wouldn't expect to deal with, which I know here in the States, if you don't have it, make sure you get your real ID or a federal compliant ID so you can actually fly, or bring your passport, because I cannot tell you the amount of people I've had to tell I cannot take them anywhere because they don't have one. So
how long have they been saying to get one of those before this actually took effect? It's been like a decade, right?
It's been 20 years.
10 years?
20. So just to give you an idea, I got my driver's license updated back in 2014, and I got a real ID then. So it's been at least 10.
Yeah, I think mine is going to expire next year, and it's a real ID, and it was good for 10 years or 7 years or something. So it's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, just random doing stuff around the house when I have time, and when I get time like this, I get to join y'all and hang out. So
awesome.
I'm really excited.
Great to see you, and congrats on your on the second child. And
thank you.
hopefully Marta's knee situation heals itself soon.
Yes, we can hope.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Dr. Steph, Captain Stefan. It's been a while since you've had you've been on the show with us. What have you been up to? I know you do a lot of traveling because we invite him quite often to join us, and he always has an excuse that he's traveling somewhere in the world. Yeah.
I think the last time I was here was over half a year ago. Can it be? In the meantime, I was in Japan. I told you that, I think, maybe. So I know the trash problem, Steph. Yes, it's an honor to carry your own trash with around. Just simply don't make trash. That's good. Yes, I did a lot of traveling, also some flying. 2 of my students finished. They finally got the PPL, their license, so I'm quite happy that it's their work, not mine. And I got level 6 English in my license, so I'm now an expert. You cannot.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm not. It says I'm expert level in English. So
I have no doubt that you'll correct us when we screw it up.
So if there's any problem with me understanding me, that it must be you, not me. Okay.
It's our problem, not your problem. Okay.
Yeah. So I have no English test anymore to take. For us foreigners, it's sometimes mandatory. It is mandatory to fly IFR. Do that, and yes, that's about it. What everybody may be interested. I don't know if you are interested. It's a couple of minutes to play this video I sent in the show notes. I don't know if you have time for that. Recalling one time the situation with was it a United airplane had to go around twice at JFK because they got the message the runway is too short by the runway overrun warning and protection system. Remember that case?
It was a Delta flight.
Was it a Delta? Okay, it was a Delta. Yeah. And I don't know if it's not working. Then it isn't.
I'm just trying to remember where I put that darn thing. Hang on, we're gonna find
getting
it. We're
to know us
it.
in the Evernote system. It's a tiny URL shortener.
I have it located in another folder, so let me just quickly find it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't as prepared as I thought I was going to be, so that's okay. We'll cut all this out in post-editing. So those of you who are privileged to be watching the video are seeing me scramble and trying to find it, but I will do that, so hang on. Just hang on to your hat, sir. Don't say anything. Let's see, 681. Come on, Jeff. Here we go. And let me do this. I need to stop sharing and then go over here and share video file and APG current 681. And so just let me know when you want me to start playing this video, if you need to set it up a little bit more.
No, you can play. It just shows for your example. I did that video. I very often filmed the approaches. I had a GoPro attached to the camera. Sometimes I just filmed the outside, sometimes the inside, or sometimes both. And here in that case, my first officer was flying, and so we suddenly got a pop-up of these systems saying, if runway wet, too short. And I thought it might be interesting for you to see that how it looks like in an Airbus cockpit. And I put the primary flight display and the put it also in the video so you can see how it pops up, and you can hear us talking. It makes it kind of uncertain. Just go start playing it. Don't worry.
Okay. Wait, the volume's a little bit too loud. Hang on.
Yeah.
Bring it down. Okay, so we can hear you. Okay. Go ahead.
It's what is it around the 004 left? I think. VOR approach.
Or 22 left, maybe.
22 left. I'm sorry. VOR approach, and we flew a FLS approach. You see it maybe down there in the display. FLS landing system. It's a 380, yes?
Yes, A380 cockpit here.
Yeah.
Yeah, at first I was going like, well, you're not very well lined up with the runway, but if you're 22 left and you're flying the non-precision, it kind of brings you in at an angle like that.
Yeah, it brings you in, and then we start deviating from the FLS approach to line up with the center line.
Okay.
That's why the needle went off to the left. And it was very windy, very gusty a bit. And the system suddenly said if went too if went too short. You see that?
Yep. We're let's see. Let me stop it right there in the I can't remember the name of the display here. The one on the left. What is it called?
PFD.
The PFD. Thank you. The primary flight display. Wow. I've only been retired for just under 2 years, and I've already forgotten.
The blue and the brown.
Retirement's treating you really well.
The sky
Just
and the
dump
ground.
all that
and
information
like,
immediately.
what is that? What does that mean? Okay. Anyway, the PFD, I see the words, if wet, runway too short, I think. Is that what that says?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Now, it's not, is it enunciating anything at this time, or is it just as far as audio, or is it just the visual? Oh, did it say that? Oh, okay. Okay.
No, that's me. That's my call out. I said if I called it out so it's my call out saying that that was me.
Okay.
And we were discussing on the way down that making us sure that, hey, can we really continue? Is that okay? I mean, it's the first and the only time in my career that I had this warning. And hey, can we land? Yes, are you sure? Yes, we can shoot. So we had the discussion. And you can see how even it affects your flying, because he's getting, my co-pilot is getting a little bit high and fast on speed. And at the end, he's getting back on glide slope in the artificial glide, and he kind of slams it on the runway and pulls full reverse because, he said, hey, just make everything right now. So
distracting.
Yeah. It's below 200, it would yell, go around, runway too short. If it's really too short runway.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Vision.
Woo! Is that you?
Yeah, that's me. Woo!
Woo! Wow. Yeah. Firm landing.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
And at the end, braking was absolutely no problem. And it might be, as iHole Boxer says, yes, there might have been a little bit tailwind. I really can't tell anymore by the indication there on the display.
Wow. So, just out of curiosity, do you like video record all of your flights like this, or was just happen to be a special occasion?
Well, New York is a special case always, and you always hope to get a Canarsie or kind of approach. But basically, I did a lot of recordings. But I also deleted a lot of them. So afterwards, but yes, I did. It's a nice memory to
destroy the evidence.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
So cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Stefan. And look at that. Your nice camera view on the tail-mounted camera there. That'd be handy.
Super
useful.
useful.
Never had anything like that in any of the airplanes I've flown.
It was very helpful. I'm recalling a situation in Delhi airport where it was so foggy that I could also only navigate by the cam because I could not see anything outside, and the only thing I could see was barely the yellow line and the lights on the camera down there.
Wow.
Yeah. Good.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Now comes music.
So, Captain Nick, don't you miss that place, Captain Nick?
Nope.
Nope. They're so friendly and welcoming there, you know?
Yeah.
Wow. Very cool.
No, my blood pressure's already risen just watching that.
Jeff, Stefan taxis just like you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. This is normal speed for me right there.
It's so smooth, that 380, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Nice. Coming into the ramp area, and...
Oh, look, someone's in your parking spot.
You're
they're pulling you on.
Oh,
they're pulling me in, yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, nice. We'll have the video. Actually, is this on YouTube somewhere? Steph?
I do have, as you can see, my little YouTube channel. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
I
if
saw Fly the Tube.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I put it on, but maybe I should.
Okay.
I will. Yeah.
Well, if you have, or if not, maybe if you give me permission, I can upload it to and make it a an unlisted video, so we could share that with our listeners.
Yeah, of course,
they
I will,
can
certainly.
see what we were
Yeah.
looking at and talking about. Okay, cool. All right, or if you've already got a link to it somewhere, that'd be great too.
I certainly will. I will have a look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, so what? So you've been you were expressing some disbelief with Dr. Steph and the number of jump runs that she made, because you are also a jumper dumper, right?
Yes, I did some jump runs last weekend, but it's getting also winter here. It's getting kind of cold, and the operation is now closed. We don't do any jumps anymore. It was scheduled next weekend, but we have Captain Nick. What's the name of the storm we have right now in Europe? Benjamin or something?
Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Yes.
Yeah. So Benjamin is approaching tomorrow with some winds up more than 100 k's, so no jumping.
That's not great. Yeah.
No.
I mean, we canceled our Sunday because
you go sideways faster than you go down.
Well, it makes jump run planning a little tricky. You're kind of doing a cross country under parachute there.
Yeah.
You gotta, yeah. But we canceled the day for, we basically had 30 knot winds from 500 feet above the ground and up, and that makes it it was dead calm on the ground. So it was blue skies. So we're standing there going, yeah, we can't go. Sorry.
Wow.
And
What
and then the rest of the day it did get rainy and it wasn't great, but we were trying to get a few in the morning. But
what wind speed would give you a vertical descent path? Like what level?
It depends on the
wind?
canopy.
Ballpark.
It varies.
Like,
I mean, on mine, I could go straight down. No, closer to 20. Yeah, for most.
Interesting.
We did some jump run last weekend, but it was only 7 a day, and my maximum I did was 16. So 30, honestly I can't say only with spent.
A whole different league, right?
Yeah.
We're busy.
Wow.
Yeah, 16's a good day though.
Yeah.
Well, so happy that you were able to join us, Stefan. I guess you just ran out of excuses, huh?
I guess so, yeah. And level 6 and level 6 English now, so I can.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, actually, that was a requirement that we had. They said, we're not going to be able to have you on again until you get that level 6 English thing.
Yeah.
So, okay, congrats. Yeah,
I have my license.
We haven't seen
yet.
proof of it.
Yeah.
You need to maybe mail us a copy just to make sure we have that on record.
Yeah.
All right. Of course, I'm kidding. AJ, how have you been?
Good. Doing a good bit of flying last week and a half or so. Got to play with the Malibu again. And as you can see, if anybody's watching the YouTube, you can see my background is a different hangar. Got to go hang out in a pretty cool hangar there. It's full of a bunch of fighter jets. So I got to fly both of those. And
you flew a 777.
Mm-hmm. I flew a quadruple 7, Nick.
Okay.
See, that's a quadruple 7.
Oh,
nice.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it is.
But the L-39 there just came out of annual, so went and did a little test flight with the owner and had a airspeed disagree between our primary and backup airspeed sources. So we went, it's not fixed. So ended up flying the Malibu back home anyway. Ended up getting it back on Monday. Went out there and took the 182 and dropped Larry off, and he flew the jet back. So it's back in. Actually, he's already out in Utah doing a formation clinic out there with it. So it's already cross country. But yeah, it was a super fun week flying. And then other than that, just normal work. Going through some things, getting the system working right. And upcoming is tomorrow. I got to go pick up all of the Angel Flight setup, our promotional booth, and we're going to the Gainesville Fly-In on Saturday. So anybody's in the North Georgia area, come check out the Gainesville Fly-In. Should be pretty neat. Bunch of neat experimentals and all kinds of airplanes on display and food trucks and bouncy houses and the whole 9 yards. No, it is. Just saw IHL Box's comment asked if my Porsche was also striped black and yellow, and if I had a Porsche, it would not be black and yellow. That is not my color scheme. The owner of those aircraft is, if you can't tell, a Georgia Tech grad.
Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech. I should say.
And he likes sevens, apparently.
He is a big fan of the number 7. That is easily his favorite number.
Here's the proof from
there you go.
Captain Stefan that he has passed his...
Yeah, it's not even written in English.
Wait a minute.
How are you supposed to read that?
I don't know. We're just going to
It's
have
a
to
weird
take his
mix
word
of
for it,
English and German. I don't.
Yeah.
Must be legit.
Nisa.
It's English and written there. I mean, honestly, yeah.
I'm glad to see that your English and your German carry the same level. I would have been more concerned if your German was like level 5.
Well, even my friends and my family, if I talk, nobody understands me, even if I talk German. So it must be some lower level, I guess.
We need to see a copy of this test.
Yeah. Interesting. Anyway, wow. So you've been busy, sir, doing a lot of flying. And how's the job going? Still employed?
I
mean, like, because the government shut down and all that kind of stuff,
Shockingly still employed. Allegedly, we are no restrictions. Supposedly, we're going to keep getting paid and keep working for the foreseeable future.
All right.
There was some rumor of a October 27th limit, and apparently that's been lifted. So hopefully after whatever that is, Tuesday, I'll still have a job again. We actually have another class. We're doubling up on our classes. So one's kind of moved into the simulator lab, and that's their phase of their class. And we have another one coming into the classroom. So we're actually going to have double the amount of students in the office at the same time. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah. It's going to be a packed house because we're already kind of not at space capacity, but it's not. I think double is going to be snug. So just moving through the hallways and whatnot.
Good. So they're actually following through on trying to kind of improve the pipeline of air traffic controllers. And,
absolutely. We had an interesting meeting. I don't remember if I talked about this or not. We had a really interesting meeting with the kind of the head people in each of the departments, if you will, involved in this whole program. And one of them from said federal agency actually said, "Hey, so the process that we have in place, we pass, give or take, 30% of the people that come in. So obviously it's not working very well. Why would we try to keep doing that? This program is about doing something different." And I went, "Am I still in the FAA building? Like, what's happening?" So it's actually been a little bit surprisingly refreshing. So I'm hoping it's going to continue that path. So we'll see.
That's good to hear. Good to hear. All right, very good. Captain Nick, how have you been, sir?
Fitting well, thank you. Yes, we have survived Benjamin, and we've pointed him off in the direction of Hamburg. So Stefan's going to have him next. We didn't like him very much, although he didn't do a lot of damage, which was great. We did have a fair amount of rain, and we survived. Hooray! That's it. Nothing much has happened for me. I did some artwork last week. Now, we had some good Say again? Oh, yeah, coming up this weekend. Well, I'm going to go up. My boy's coming up and taking me out for a curry on Friday. And then, as if I haven't had enough curry, I'm heading off to near Luton Airport, some awful airport in the... it's just terrible.
You mean
up
London,
there.
Luton?
Yeah, it's like a third world country up there. London Luton Airport. I'm going to go meet Pip, who's in the chat room, at least he was, and Captain Al, who's organised it. This is a sort of regular curry meet, but I think it's the first time I've ever managed to get to one. Trouble is, it's a bit of a drive, so for me to get to the other side of London. So I've booked a hotel nearby, and I will be able to have a few beers and then go and retire for the night. We're meeting Neville there, Neville Bounds from BT UK, And I don't know if Adam's coming. I didn't see if Adam confirmed or not, but Adam, our pet air traffic controller. But anyway, it'll be a lovely evening. I'm sure we're going to eat curry, and I'll try and get some audio from, what these guys like. They're so shy, and reticent. It's really hard to get them to say anything, but I will do my best. I'll probably have to wait until they've consumed a lot of beer before, but then I'll try and get a bit of a recording. Yeah, we're looking forward to the shimmy damper, and that's kind of it. But anyway, artwork. Can we do the artwork? Okay, we have some good suggestions, some great suggestions actually. One of them was Petonkadonk. And I'm trying to work out why, but I've been talking about playing petanque, which I do, and I had to try and think about how to put petanque in with aviation. So we've got some passengers, obviously a French, dreadful French airline, and their aircraft Petonkadonk their donk has failed, so they're having a game of petanque round the nose wheel, which I thought was rather good. But it was a bit esoteric for our usual audience. So we mentioned there had some great feedback about how many Funyuns need to line up. What's the average number of Funyuns need to line up for an accident? Yep. And we discovered the number was 7. And you, Jeff, mentioned that that's at least how many lined up at the nuclear accident you had at 3 Mile Island. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is it still called 3 Mile Island, or do they call it 10 Mile because of the restriction around it now?
It's still 3 Mile Island.
Still 3 Mile Island. So we then, because the only nuclear reactor accident I could think of was the one that Homer Simpson had. So I went, right, got to be Homer Simpson involved in this our imaginary accident. So
we were talking about the fact that this should be covered on not our show, an aviation show, but on
that's
a
right.
show that's hosted by the nuclear reactor guy, nuclear reactor guy show.
Who is Homer Simpson? So there we got Homer and a new podcast. Now, if you want to find the show number, you had to look by his left arm and the red light. There's a little screen above that. Keep going up. There we go. Keep going. There. 680.
I looked. I could not find it, but now I see
680. Yeah. That's that. And then we also had the logo, which was amongst all the radiation crackling across the windshield. So there's the logo down the bottom. No, it's down the bottom. Down. That's it there. Half the logo. You see the logo sitting down the bottom there? There you go. And the penguin. He's sitting in one of the instruments. It's there he is. He's having to peer out going, what the hell's going on? Poor chap. Yeah, there's 2 jackasses in that picture, that's for sure. So that was
now
the
there are
artwork from last
5
week.
Jackasses in the picture we're seeing now.
Yeah. Well,
6.
we got more than we can shake a stick at on this show. Yes, absolutely. So that's all from me.
Just a random note. They are actually looking at starting the reactor that did not melt down at 3 Mile Island. So, just a fun fact there.
Has it been? I guess it's been dormant since the accident.
I believe there were 2 reactors there, and they shut down the whole site, and then they're looking at restarting the unused one because they need power for the data centers in the area. So.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, which is it's near Harrisburg, PA, which is it's the state capital, isn't it? Harrisburg.
It is.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, it is. Okay, good. I'm trying to remember my state capitals. It's been a while. Okay. Very good. Oh, yeah. So for me, so I went on a road trip. I think I talked about it on the last show that I was going to be heading up to the Ann Arbor, Michigan area because one of the famous or infamous, depending on how you look at it, APG community members up there, Laura Davis, was married this past weekend, and I was invited to attend the rehearsal dinner and also the wedding. And so I decided to drive the RVS up there, and it was a nice trip. I stopped into Lexington on the way up, stayed in a parking lot, a Lutheran church parking lot, which was perfect for my overnight, and then continued up to a spot called Saline, I think, Saline, Michigan, which was a little bit south of where the wedding took place, and it was perfect.
Celine Dion?
Nope, not the same.
No, okay.
Saline, I think, and not too
Saline.
far.
Okay.
Yeah, but they didn't pronounce it like that, and I'm trying to recall exactly how they pronounced it, but anyway, it's nearby. And so I have some, oh yeah, I need to share that screen. Hang on. Okay, I have a little bit of video and some photos from the wedding. And let's see here. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, share. And then if you'll pop that up into the, there we go. And I'm going to hit this button here. This is after the nuptials. Yay! There's Laura and her new husband, Gary. And that's some great camera work on my part there. Sorry. And didn't edit that video. This is Gary and Laura having some cake, some wedding cake. And that was, again, I think the first dance of the wedded couple on the dance floor. And there I am with the happy, newly married, just married couple. Yeah, I'm the wedding crasher for sure. Yeah. And did you notice that I color coordinated my tie?
I was just going to say.
Laura's beautiful dress?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice, huh? Anyway, it was so nice to meet Laura and Gary's families and friends, and we had a great time. And Tanya in our live audience says, "Woohoo! So happy for Laura and Gary." Yeah, me too. It was a good time, and I was very honored that I was invited to attend and witness this wonderful event. I represented the whole APG and airline or aviation podcast community, I think. Yeah. They even had a special name tag. Jeff is representing the entire aviation podcasting community. No, they didn't actually. I didn't have that, but I should have. Anyway, yeah.
Congratulations
so
to Laura and Gary. That's awesome. So.
Yeah. I think I mentioned on the last program, did we mention this, that somebody in Poland reached out,
Max.
and we Max. So yeah, that's right. Right after the show, we even talked about it on the show during the Getting to Know Us segment. That's right. We talked about Max and his birthday and his interest in aviation. And then after we finished recording the show, we did another special personal private recording of those of us who were on the panel that day. And so anyway, I just wanted to, the reason why I wanted to mention it is that his mom, who reached out to us to begin with, was so touched by the fact that we spent the time to reach out to his son. Yeah, we sent some pictures of Captain Nick and Captain Jeff in their airline uniforms, so I'm sure that he enjoyed that as well. So just wanted to mention that we so enjoyed doing that for Max and his mom. All right, and then I've just been doing the normal bit of singing, and tomorrow I'm singing taking part in the singing of a wedding, and then doing my normal, this wedding thing is really, I love, happy celebrations like that. And I do a lot of funerals too, and that's not necessarily a happy situation, obviously, but so that's kind of what I've been up to.
I'm singing!
Yeah, just like Elf, I'm singing. All right, coffee fun time. Okay, let's hit that button right.
Johnny, how much more coffee? No thanks.
I love coffee I love tea. I love the APG community. Coffee and tea and the Java and me. A cup. Oh yeah, the Coffee Fund. That's your way to support our show financially if you have the resources to do so. A couple of different ways to do that. One is the Coffee Fund Classic method, which has been the longest running way to be part of the Coffee Bar Club. And Kevin Dryden up there in Comox, BC, sent us a nice contribution. Thank you, Kevin. And he also sent me a link to a couple of YouTube videos about flying boats. The Shorts Sunderland, is that I think the way you pronounce that? The flying boat. Very interesting videos. Thank you, Kevin. I only watched a little bit of the first one, so I still have some watching to do. But thank you for that, and thank you for supporting our show via the Coffee Fund Classic method. And we also are on Patreon. You can become a patron of the show, which means you can pledge a certain amount per episode and support us in that way. A lot of people are doing that. I think most of our donations come from Patreon. So if you're interested in using either of those two methods to become part of the Coffee Bar Club, please head over to airlinepilotguy.com/coffee. You'll be glad you did, and we will too.
And with that, I'm going to say goodbye
to Dr. Steph.
Goodbye.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, have a lovely rest of the show. Alrighty.
Thanks.
See you guys next time, whenever that is. Hopefully next week. So, with the race
All right.
report.
Okay, good luck.
All right. Cheers.
And keep on
Bye.
running.
Yes.
Yes.
No choice. See ya.
Bye-bye.
All right. Let's see.
Thought she would never leave.
I know. Gosh.
I'm still here. I almost hit the end screen button. So I had to like pause myself for a second. I was like, no, not that one. That's the button that no pilot should push. Anyway, I'm just going to remove myself. That way all my stuff will upload and then you can end it later. All right. Bye.
Well, I'm really happy that you didn't click that button in the upper right-hand corner that says end stream.
I almost did. I like reflexively went for that for some reason. So that's why it took I paused for half a second. I was just sitting here awkwardly. So
how are we doing with your recording upload here? Why don't you just leave it on for a little bit longer?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I'm just gonna be, my stuff will be on in the background, but I will not be here. So
okay, very good.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Again, thought she'd never leave.
Is she really gone?
She's probably still there listening to us. I would if I were her.
Hers is
what were you saying, Liz? Oh no, only 25 minutes? Oh, okay. Well, we can try to do as much as we can with feedback. What do you think? Anybody else
Do a long one.
need to say anything or do anything before we continue with that? Okay.
I'm
All right.
take a quick break, but I'll be right back.
Okay.
Captain, incoming message.
All righty. Let's start off with the feedback from Grant McCarran. The irony of the 1500-hour rule. That's the title of his feedback to us. Hi, Jeff, Liz, and the crew. It's rather sad that the biggest irony of the 1500-hour rule introduced after the Colgan Air crash is that both of the pilots in that crash had well over 1,500 hours each. There were much more important aspects than hours accumulated, yet an arbitrary figure was plucked from somewhere. A doctor and a flashlight may have been involved, he says. Probably. As predicted, we are experiencing the fallout of that threshold limit as would-be pilots select other careers for a variety of reasons, not least of which is the level of funds involved in reaching 1,500 hours. Hope all is well for you folks and that all is well in your worlds. Cheers, Grant. And he's down there in Australia, and we definitely we had a good discussion, I think, about is the 1,500-hour rule really something that is important or effective or whatever? And we've talked about the system over there in many other parts of the world, not the U.S., where what is it called? The multi-crew license, I think. Is that what they call that? Dr. or Captain Stefan?
Yes, multi-crew license, but
Multi-crew license.
they are. They're using it. My company using it, but they're kind of backed up from this arrangement because at the beginning you have to have, it must be one flow from, you have to be in the flight school, which is registered at the flight training organization from the airline you're going to later fly. And so if you finish with the initial part of the school and then something went wrong, you cannot do anything with that stuff. But what all you have learned, you have to get a qualification course and everything. So I think we are back to the basic, or to the same old procedure we had before, but that has nothing to do with flight hours. I mean, when I had about 360 flight hours when I was fully checked out on a 737 as a first officer. So it's the MLS, or not the MLS, the multi-crew license. It's one way to make it shorter or better, but it's not the way that we do in Europe here. Captain Nick can also probably confirm that.
Well, it was only really sort of emerging when I came out of the industry, so I don't know much about it, only what I've read, and I don't really have any personal experience of the guys that have been recruited. Most of them went to companies like EasyJet because they were taking pilots of low experience. My airline only took guys of very high experience.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, Grant, for putting your thoughts in. Yeah, you're right. The barrier to obtaining that many hours is one of the barriers is financial time and money. Money is it's a huge outlay to Stephen Ivy. I recall that you were that was kind of a little bit of a struggle for you, right? Getting all those hours, and remind everybody how you did it.
Yeah, so I did aerial survey to build my time. I was very fortunate. It took me like 8-9 months to get the time I need, but I already had around 400-ish hours when I went to aerial survey. But the whole thing was going from having a full-time guaranteed paid job to, making minimum wage flying around for however many hours a day you can fly around. So that financial aspect of it, of course, I was single. It was a lot easier. If I was doing it again now with 2 kids and my wife, there's no way.
It'd be impossible, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would not be very possible. I'm seeing now, a lot of people are in these cadet programs and everything, and they're talking about they are failing out of them, and then they'll try to go somewhere else and they won't let them. So now they're stuck with the bill at one place, and then they've either got to go find a regular job or try to find another job instructing or something. And it's a lot to think about, and I don't think anyone enjoys flying around worried about whether or not you're going to be able to have a place to live or food to eat or whatnot. So it's not an easy thing. You got to be very determined to do it, and just have to really evaluate the life choices you want to make with it.
Yeah, well, one of our frequent live audience members, live chat room members, and esteemed APG community member, iHall Boxes, he has a solution to this whole problem. It doesn't really cost much at all. I mean, I don't know how much a pen and a logbook costs, but he just took the pen and started writing hours in his logbook.
Oh, okay.
So go to the bank. You can steal the pen.
Yeah.
They don't put the
Then he
names
said,
on them anymore because nobody goes in there.
He said, I didn't actually. He's making sure that, just in case the lawyers are watching right now. It was a joke. It was a joke. He's still flying.
Just a joke. No one's ever done that before.
That's one of the first pillars of my training when I was taught by one of my early instructors said, fly what you want and log what you need.
Oh, wow. Now, we don't endorse that here on the APG. We don't endorse that. Okay. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you again, Grant, for sending in the feedback. And we're going to jump to feedback number 10. This This is from an anonymous or Any Mouse. It says New York Any Mouse, LaGuardia. Okay, so he says this, or he or she, I'm not sure, APG crew. It's been a while since I've sent him feedback, but recent episodes on events at LaGuardia brought back memories of single-handedly causing an LGA, a LaGuardia ground stop. It seems like it happened yesterday. Cue in flashback audio. Oh, I didn't get the flashback audio, but you're hearing it now. The harp sound. Oh, listen to that. Isn't that? I was right on that. Okay. I was a CRJ 700/900 captain based at LaGuardia. This was day 4 of a 4-day trip, a flight to LaGuardia, a 2-hour sit for lunch, then a turn to one of the southeast U.S. airports. Go home day, as we say. My FO was Matt, a really good guy. Oh, he didn't make his FO anonymous. Yeah.
I was going to say, just
wow.
call him out. But
yeah, he called him out. Yeah, Matt, what was his last name? No, he didn't put his last name. Okay, my FO was Matt, a really good guy, a great FO, but man, he had the thickest Boston accent. During my, quote, airport appreciation time at LaGuardia before our last turn, I thought it would be a great idea to have some barbecue. Airport barbecue before flying. In my 50s. Bad idea. Uh-oh. I can kind of see where this is going.
Let's shorten that. Airport barbecue, bad idea.
Yeah.
Airport barbecue in New York, very bad idea.
Yeah, very bad idea. And at any age, I think.
What's an airport barbecue? I'm sorry to interrupt. Is it
it's like
some special American thing also?
It's like gas station sushi. It's the quality.
It's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Not the best. Yeah, as we'll probably hear shortly. As we were being pushed back, it hit me. I started sweating profusely, and my pallor started to match the color of my pilot shirt, which is white. Matt looked at me and said, "You okay?" I shook my head. "No." "You need to go to the back?" Meaning use the lav. I thought about it for a moment. Could I wait until we were above 10,000 feet? It's LaGuardia. What if there's a long line? Yeah, there's always a long line. I nodded an emphatic yes. As soon as the tug disconnected, I unbuckled my seatbelt and bolted for the back of the aircraft. Now, the CRJ 700/900 has 2 lavs, one in the front and one in the rear. Of course, our front lav was deferred, so I had to take the walk of shame. Or perhaps I should say uncomfortable walk of shame as I struggled to maintain composure past all of the passengers. To make matters more embarrassing, the aft flight attendant jump seat blocked the aft lav. So while the passengers gave puzzling looks, the aft flight attendant glared. We ate as a crew, and she even asked me at the time, quote, "Barbecue, a good lunch choice before a flight?" Uh-oh. My assurance is that after 24 years of military service, my stomach could handle anything were coming back to haunt me. What followed was a sensory assault on the back rows of the airplane. Their skin tingled as the airplane shuddered. The noise drowned out the whine of the APU. Oh my gosh. Vision blurred as eyes watered. The olfactory senses were overwhelmed. Frankly, I'm surprised the aft lav smoke detector didn't go off. I sheepishly left the lav to the dagger stare of the flight attendant and green faces and worried stares from the passengers. I whispered to the flight attendant, "Maybe we should comp some of the last row's drinks?" "You think?" she responded, not whispering. There the story would end, except while I was gone. After we were at our pushback spot for a few minutes, the ramp controller got impatient. In a thick New York City accent, she started harping at my FO. "AC-123, why aren't you moving?" In an equally thick Boston accent, Matt responded, "We can't move right now. The captain's working on an issue." Ramp, "Well, move your airplane out of the way, then work on the issue. You're blocking everything." Matt says, "No, we can't move until the captain fixes the issue." The ramp says, "Then call the tug back and go back to the gate. No one else can push back or taxi while you're there." I returned to the middle of this and a look of relief from Matt. "AC-123 can now taxi." Ramp gave us instructions followed by, "AC-123, you've really messed things up, and we will probably spend the rest of the day undoing it." Oh well. We had a beautiful flight, not a cloud in the entire northeastern United States. As we were deplaning, the gate agent came down with our paperwork for our leg back to LaGuardia, and the bad news. LaGuardia had a ground stop, in effect, due to ramp congestion. She wasn't sure why, as the weather was good. Matt just started laughing and walked back to the flight deck. The flight attendants, both commuters, gave me the stink eye. And again, this is from New York. Any mouse? Yeah, that probably meant that they were going to miss their commuting flights home, and they were not very happy. Wow, what a story! That has got to be one of the biggest fears that I had, that something like that would happen. And it kind of reminds me of a story. I don't know if this is a true story or not, but it also involved a regional jet. And I think that the captain, had an issue like this, except that it happened so quickly. He was still in the cockpit, and he had to disrobe, take his clothes off and his underwear, and he took the underwear with the result of this situation and put it under his hat. And then put the hat on, and then was walking back, had to walk to the very, very back of the airplane to take care of this situation. And I don't know if this is a true story or not, but the story goes that the first officer, as the captain was walking toward the back, made a PA that said that if anybody has any questions about our flight today or about just flying in general, our captain is back in the back and will be happy to answer any questions. Now, it could have been the other way around. Maybe it was the FO that had this issue. I don't know. But anyway, one of the pilots, as the story goes, was stopped several times on the way back with this load of stuff under his hat before he finally was able to do something with it in the back. But again, makes for a good story. I don't know if that's true or not, but makes me cringe. Anybody here on the panel have any kind of experience like this, or anything similar or close to?
What do you think?
I haven't got
every day.
Every day.
My lips are sealed.
I haven't had that bad. I did get food poisoning when I was doing my phenom type rating, and luckily I had a day off, but I still wasn't great. So I did the initial day one sim pretty nauseated, and that was a mistake. That was not like trying to do a V1 cut, nauseated. Just, it wasn't good. That's all I'll say. It was bad.
Were you able to keep everything inside your body?
I was. I just focused on the instrument panel. I couldn't actually look up at the screen for the visuals. It was that bad.
Wow.
The instructor was, and I told him before when I was like, I'm going to try, but I don't know if I'll make it. And he was understanding, but it wasn't fun. Ooh. And then I had food poisoning a couple times on the road, but luckily it wasn't actually at the plane. It was at the hotel. So.
Yeah, Metro Doc has a good title for our show today. Airport B-B-Poo. 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 It's hard for me to say that. iHall Boxes says the show art could be a screenshot of this moment where every one of you was grabbing their heads.
Well, actually, just a week ago, I had a story from a colleague who was, how do you say, getting an airplane. It was somewhere remote where they had to fly a shuttle. I mean, maybe it was, I don't know, Singapore, and then had to fly from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur and back. And they went in the cockpit, and it was so intense, the smell. They thought, where's it from? They found out that this incident must have happened to one of the pilots. I don't say which is or the left or right seat, and they didn't tell anybody. So and the stuff was not in someone's head, but it was still in the trash can from the cockpit. I mean, wrapped in some plastic bag or whatever. So they first had to clean up the cockpit. They had to lay down linen on the seat because one seat was totally, as you say, wasted or whatever you call that.
Ooh,
The
yeah,
crew
good-
rest was messed as well, and they didn't. The previous crew didn't tell the following crew what that they totally wasted the whole cockpit, and it was so bad the smell that they fly under oxygen mask the first 10 minutes because they couldn't stand it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, but and they had to clean everything once again. I mean, it was only 1 hour and 1 hour back. Otherwise, they would have taken the flight the 12 hours home. They wouldn't have made it in this condition. No. But I have another question regarding the deferred toilet in the forward toilet. I recall from the MEL, from the minimum hold list, my 737 where I flew, that the forward door can only be deferred as inoperable if the cockpit crew accepts this and if the flight time is under acceptable conditions, so that the situation that one of the crew members has to walk past the passengers to the aft toilet, it's not allowed to do that as an active crew member in flight. So the flight time, I think they didn't say it by the numbers, but it must have been 1 hour, not more. So I wonder where the flight was going. Yeah.
I've on the 200, I've had the lab deferred, and it was a 45-minute actual flight time, and we accepted the aircraft.
But the 200, the lab is in the back.
It's only got one.
Right?
Yeah,
only one lab, and
one.
it's in the back, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Switch, but it's deferred, but I would think you would still be able to use it because there's nothing keeping whatever you're going to dispose of from going down to the tank. It's just not going to circulate the fluid. So I mean,
gotcha.
You could use it,
yeah,
but you also have nothing to cover your,
evidence.
Evidence, yes.
Yeah.
So there's a practical way around it, but if it's written off or if it's in the tech log that the forward toilet is inop, you cannot fly more than 1 hour. At least in my company, you couldn't.
Yeah.
That's actually a good rule. Yeah.
This is turning out to be a really crappy show, I have to say.
Well, I've lost. At least it's not shitty.
Okay.
That's level now? 6 English, that is.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. minus 6, maybe. You said next one, Liz? Oh, it's from Deanna. Okay. Oh, that's right. So I think it was the last show we were having a discussion. Deanna was with us in our live chat, and she had mentioned that she had sent some feedback to us earlier that she didn't recall that we had covered. So I think we got it all straightened out. I'm sorry, you're breaking up, Liz. What? Oh, okay. The photos didn't send. Okay. So here we go. This is from Deanna Tickle, my trip to Tanzania. This trip was in January and February of this year. I'll try to include fewer photos in each email to see if that will allow it to go through. So I guess we were successful there. So, all right. Let's see. Now this is, I guess, the feedback from when she originally sent it, right? Okay. I've missed the past few live shows because I've just completed a very exciting travel experience. I spent the past 2.5 weeks in Tanzania volunteering along with other veterinary technicians, and lay people for a project called Mission Rabies. More on the project later, but I also experienced a few travel firsts. I connected through Doha, which was my first experience with that airport. It's a beautiful airport and one of the cleanest I've seen. I had a 6-hour layover in Doha on my way to Tanzania and took advantage of the sleep rooms they offer for rent. For $75, I got a solid 3 hours of sleep, and it was well worth it. 14 hours in an economy class seat on the A350 was decidedly unpleasant, and I got no sleep. The Doha airport sleeping area was approximately the size of a business class seat, but considerably cheaper. It was also my first time flying into the Kilimanjaro airport. The flights home were on two of my favorite aircraft, the 787 from JRO to DOH, and the 777 from Doha to JFK, John F. Kennedy. Both were far more comfortable than the A350. Another travel first was almost missing my flight home from JFK to Raleigh-Durham due to a delayed flight and security delays. Thank goodness I have global entry, or I would have missed it. My boarding pass was printed by Qatar, and I didn't realize that meant I couldn't use TSA pre-check, so I had to go through the regular security with all the commoners, she put in quotes. I channeled Dr. Steph and ran to my gate, arriving minutes before it closed. Thought I certainly didn't run as fast or as gracefully as Dr. Steph. But on to the important stuff. Mission Rabies is a project with a goal of reducing the 60,000 human deaths from rabies each year. Wow, that's a lot, more than I thought would be from rabies. 60,000 human deaths each year. Most of these are in Africa and Asia, and most are due to dog bites. About 40% are children. Due to lack of widespread vaccination of dogs, the disease is endemic in the species in these countries, unlike in more developed countries where dogs are routinely vaccinated. My project was in Tanzania, but they also happen in Asia and other African counties or countries. Local teams work year-round on smaller vaccine efforts and work with us during the 2 weeks on a massive vaccine project. The local groups also educate school children about dog safety and rabies prevention. Part of our time was spent at static locations where people came to us, and part of it was in the field hours from our base. It was an incredible project, and Tanzania is beautiful. The people are warm and welcoming, and the fresh fruit is plentiful. We also had an opportunity for a 2-day safari during a break at the end of the first week. I'd be willing to accept Coffee Fund Cadre donations for an upgrade to business class seat next time I go back. Okay. Do we have any funds in there for business class seat for? Oh, they're telling me no. Okay. Sorry. Let's see. Our estimated numbers. Prior to our arrival, local teams were busy with educational campaigns for 36,000 children. 7,195 dogs were vaccinated by us. 854 cats. A separate team of volunteers sterilized 404 dogs and 5 cats. Local survey teams followed up after our vaccination programs in each area, and there was an average of 75% vaccination rate in dogs throughout multiple villages. 70% is the target rate for preventing disease the disease spread among dogs. So excellent. So they accomplished their mission of 70%. They got 75% vaccination rate. Wow.
It just shows you how much smarter cats are than dogs at not getting caught.
Yeah, well, that's one way to look at it. Let's see. There's Deanna right there with her safari hat on. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Excellent. So we'll have all these photos that Deanna sent in our show notes, so you can follow along when you're listening to me read her feedback, and that's awesome. So I'm glad that we finally got a chance to cover your feedback, Deanna. Yeah. Anything else to say? Mm-hmm. Okay. We are at the 2-hour mark of our show. Do we want to go ahead and end it, crew, or do we want to do one or two more?
We got a couple of Ted's friends in the chat. If we had time to do Ted's feedback.
Okay, why don't we do Ted's feedback then? What number is that?
13?
13? Okay. Absolutely. Okay, great. This feedback will probably be our last for today's show. This is some audio feedback sent in from Tedder. Is that really his nickname? Tedder?
That's one of his monikers, yeah.
One of his monikers,
Tedder.
okay. From Ted Timmons, In Flight Medical, My Story. Okay, so let's hear from Ted. I got to meet Ted for the first time at Oshkosh this year, and that was he's a great guy, and also a fellow aviation podcaster. So let's hear what Ted has to say in his audio feedback.
Hey, I was listening to APG 680 and an in-flight medical story was mentioned. My friend Lord Alpha Juliet said that you might like hearing my story from the other side of the cockpit barrier. Almost exactly 10 years ago, I was flying across the Pacific on that Atlanta-based airline. My then wife, Dr. Ms. Tedder, had just decided to stop practicing medicine and was joining me on an already planned trip. Anyhow, naturally, a little ways into the 10-hour flight, we heard the "if there's a doctor on board" message. She slumped down in her seat, being less than 24 hours removed from a big decision. But nobody else qualified was on board, so eventually she made her doctorly presence known. The passenger was in the middle seats near the back of the twin-aisle plane, so full cattle class seating. They'd passed out, like what fainting goats do, I guess. She evaluated him to decide if it was critical or not. She decided he was okay, so the flight continued. She checked in on him maybe 2 times over the remaining 6 or 7 hours of the flight. I just got the benefits of that. The flight attendants were very friendly for the rest of the trip. I wanted coffee when everyone else was sleeping. I went to the back galley, and they wouldn't let me take their coffee, but brewed me fresh airline gallery coffee. After the flight, they gave her some flight credits, but I think it was only about $200 or $300 for a future Atlanta-based carrier flight. She's now ex-Ms. Dr. Tedder. I have the Dr. Cat tattoo and the divorce. She has the leftover medical debt and the smart brain. Now that I'm flying, I wonder what was happening in the cockpit. Would you have already talked to your medical consultants on the ground? Was the co-pilot putting a backup route into the FMS for diversion? At this point, I consider myself a friend of the show. I'm a friend of Lord Alpha Juliet. I've been in the RVS, and I've been bullied by RJ. By the rule of 3, that counts.
Yeah. Yep. You are definitely part of our APG crew. Wow. What a story. So to answer quickly, from my point of view anyway, yeah, as soon as we heard that something was going on medically in the back, I'm sure that one of the pilots was already in communication with dispatchers back at headquarters, and also making the call to the contracted medical in-flight medical service provider. What do they call it? We called it MedFlight or something like that. We've changed providers.
MedAir or MedLink.
MedLink maybe.
Yeah, I was with MedLink.
Yeah. And depending on the aircraft, it's possible for the one of the flight attendants, probably the chief, the head flight attendant, or the purser, or whatever your airline calls it, they can actually contact the med flight people or whatever directly themselves, and sometimes that's much more effective than trying to funnel everything up to the cockpit and then playing telephone, as they say, with the provider. But yeah, that's I'm sure what was happening while all this was going on. Thoughts from anybody else? So what do you do? Yeah, Stephen.
I don't have a flight attendant. I don't have a cockpit door. So, I fly a lot of elderly people. And I generally always tend to look back there every couple minutes or so to make sure they're not slouched over. Because it has happened. Like, we have had people die in flight. It's life. But
lots of paperwork involved, I'm sure.
Yeah. But we have the same medical kit that the airlines do on board. We have an AED on the Challenger. So we're capable of doing it. But what I don't have is I'm not able to talk to my company via my FMS, like ACARS. So I have to rely on my Wi-Fi to be able to make a connection on with MedLink, or talk to the company, or I've got to find the air to ground frequency and get a phone patch to be able to do it. And then also there's just 2 of us. So one of us is going to have to go back there and take care of it, especially if there's no other passengers, it's just one. So, it's kind of, it's like a lot to juggle and evaluate. If you're the one flying, generally you just start looking for the nearest airport that's near a city, because you're not always near a city, especially out on the West Coast, traversing the desert, is kind of not a lot of places to stop. So kind of picking the best place to go while talking to the medical people and helping that person and all that. So it's a little bit different for me because it's just you and your co-pilot. So
Right. I will say that modern technology is great, but back in the day in the 90s when I was flying the 727, that the air to ground communication.
That was
phone
the
patch,
1890s.
Yeah, no, it was the 1990s. Thank you very much,
Oh, okay,
sir.
sorry.
Yeah,
Just checking.
I should remind everybody that Captain Nick is older than I am, so you're just kind of
Yeah,
not
but
older
I'm not as old as your airplane.
Yeah, well, it was a great airplane, that 727, and you're just not fortunate enough to have been able to fly it. Anyway, my point is that system is not as technologically advanced as what we have today, but it worked fine. I had a few medical emergencies using that phone patch kind of a system, and it worked out all right. But anyway, that's just what I wanted to say before I was slammed about my age. Thank you very much, and the age of that airplane.
Did you have a full rotary dial in the airplane, or did it actually have buttons?
Yeah, no, we just had a crank thing. We had
turning the operator. That makes sense.
And operator, could you get me the dispatcher, please?
Jeff had to use his shoe.
My shoe phone. I hope you guys are having fun. Yeah, I really do. Captain Stefan, how about yourself? Anything to relate to this?
I mean, short range flying is, you have, at least in Europe, there's always airports everywhere. I mean, you kind of go down where a bigger airport is, so you land there if you have a medical problem. But long haul is a different thing. So I think Captain Dick can confirm that when you're flying along, you constantly watching which airport is available for a diversion. But it's not necessarily the airport which is good for a diversion with a sick passenger. Not technically, I mean, for the airplane to land there, but more, does this airport has the right facility to help these passengers? So that's why basically with the MedLink where you're referring to is coming in very handy. They tell you what they cannot command you to go to that airport, but they only can recommend. If you have a passenger which has a stroke, you better go there. If you have a passenger who has a heart attack, you better go to this other place, whatever. So that was very handy. My personal experience with in the 380 with a sick passenger was that we were flying from Frankfurt to Houston, and there was one passenger who was coming in a wheelchair in a very, very last minute, very, very stressed. Apparently he wanted to go to Houston because there's maybe you can confirm that a lot of heart specialists there, a lot of well, he should have taken one earlier flight because his heart, starts. It was apparently a bit stressful, the trip to Frankfurt to the airport, and I had the first break on the flight. We had nice breaks in the airplane. Could go to the bunk and have a sleep or rest. So I had the first break, and it was 2.5 hours or so. And after 1 hour, the co-pilots start to ring me up, and I already noticed some traffic in front of the door. There was a lot of going on, cockpit in, cockpit out, and they told me, hey, we have a sick passenger. I think you come better into the cockpit. So I got up, I went in the cockpit, and then there was a doctor in the cockpit on the flight to the States, and I said, why? I started like, because it's forbidden to take any passenger in the cockpit. But well, my two first officers, one senior first officer, actually they did the right thing. It was an elderly lady, very experienced. She was that high, not very, she was no danger at all, and she was holding the phone and was talking directly to the MedLink guy, and they were discussing the values of the passengers back and forth, and half hour later I was in Keflavik.
No. Good for you.
Oh,
Yeah, very
45
good.
minutes later. Yeah.
Yeah, what a great story.
Yeah.
And, in a situation like, we talk about that a lot on the show that, when you have an extraordinary situation, captain's emergency authority or pilot's emergency authority just basically trumps everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yes, I was in Keflavik.
Did you have a nice time there in Keflavik? Or did,
2.5 hours till they filled up the remaining 60 tons, and the block time was 18 hours and 36 minutes. The
Wow.
block time.
Oh, so you had to keep
Oh,
flying.
you
that day.
earned your pay then. Well done.
Wow.
Well, yeah, it was I beg your pardon? Oh, okay.
Yeah, on our aircraft, we had a pretty sophisticated system because the company really didn't want us to divert unless it was absolutely necessary. So in order to make that assessment, the cabin crew had this box of tricks which they would put on the floor beside the sick passenger, plug into the seat, it would connect to the aircraft's Wi-Fi. They would have a camera on a headset. They would be able to speak directly to a doctor. The camera would show the doctor what was going on. The pulse oxy and the ECG sensors would be on the patient. The doctor got those readouts directly. They got blood pressure and pulse and everything else that the doctors wanted. So the doctors back at, I think it was Chicago or somewhere, were meddling somewhere
Pittsburgh,
like that.
maybe? University
Could
of Pittsburgh. Yeah.
There's so many countries, cities in America. So it could have been any of them. They could make a pretty detailed assessment and give us advice on whether to go. In fact, we would take their advice over and above a medical volunteer because, you really don't know the experience of a qualified medical volunteer who's come forward. They might actually be someone who does post-mortems. They were originally did doctor training, but they may not be up to date with the advice from the expert on the ground.
We were also told the same thing, Captain Nick, that takes precedence over whatever doctor or medical authority that you have on board your aircraft because they have been trained to understand all the physiological aspects of being in flight and altitude and everything else. So, yeah,
that's exactly right.
Instructions we had.
You can make pretty good decisions. In fact, a lot of the time, the patient got better and more immediate care on the aircraft than they would if they landed at some quiet town where they had to get an ambulance and it would take half an hour for the ambulance to arrive and then drive out into the countryside to find a hospital. That could be a nightmare, whereas we had really good facilities on board.
So what you just described was exactly the way it was in the 727.
Yeah, except in those days you just had a stethoscope and an old glass syringe. That was.
Yeah,
I thought that was the aft stair was for in-flight.
Yeah, this was like just open it up and push them out. Problem solved.
Nice one.
All right. Yeah, Stephen, do you need to leave us? I think we're about to wrap up anyway.
Oh,
so,
well, yeah, wrap it up then.
Okay. Very good. Okay. Well, great. Thank you so much, everybody, for sending in your feedback. I'd also like to especially thank Captain Stefan and Captain Ivy. They were able to join us today on relatively short notice, and we do appreciate their presence and their input. And as always, we like to point you to our website, airlinepilotguy.com, where you can find information about the crew. And guess what, AJ? You're on the website. So
I saw it.
Good man.
Yeah, so I actually did update it. It's not completely updated, but we're making progress with that. So
maybe now finally my checks will start coming through.
Yeah, well, we'll be working on that. We're still working on that system. Something's wrong with that payment system. Sorry. We're also on social media. Captain Nick, would you do the honors, or would you rather have somebody else do it?
No, I don't mind. I've got nothing else to do tonight except go to bed.
Okay.
if you're a fan of Facebook, and there aren't very many out there, I don't think, there's only a few. You can find us at Facebook if you search for Airline Pilot Guy, all one word. If you're an X-fan, I don't mean an X-fan of the show, I mean a fan of X. We're at APG Crew. On the Instagram, we're again instagram.com/APG Crew. And if you want to see this smelly sausage and there's likely to be smelly sausages in the artwork, I suspect. If you want to see the smelly sausage being made, you can find this recording on youtube.com/Airline Pilot Guy. Again, all one word.
Just to be sure that people understand, we do not have the smell-o-vision technology yet. So the smelly part
is still coming.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, you're going to be
That's
okay.
what she said.
And, yeah, well, okay. Wait, let's see. Oh yeah, I hear the water. Let's see if Hillel can. Hey,
she's
Hillel,
flushing the toilet.
Can you tell us about Slack?
Okay, but I'm dripping wet.
Oh, it's okay. Come on over here and tell us all about
He used the new
Slack.
B-Day toilet. Is that why he's wet?
I that could be part of it.
APG listeners, please join us on our Slack team. Slack is a communication, coordination, and sharing platform that works on your mobile, laptop, or browser. On Slack, we share news and ideas. We suggest episode and plain tales topics. We plan events and meetups. To get into the Slack team, please email me at slack@airlinepilotguy.com. That's SLACK Sierra Lima Alpha Charlie Kilo @airlinepilotguy.com, or send me a tweet with your preferred email address to @Hillel, and I'll send you an invitation. That's Hillel, spelled Hotel India 11 Echo 1, and see you in Slack.
All right. Thank you very much, Hillel. Do you have anything else to tell us? Maybe a possibility of some kind of a meetup in New York?
Greetings, APG listeners. Join me, Hillel, for a mini meetup in New York City. Jeff's letting me out of the shower so I can meet up with you on Saturday evening, November 15th at a location in the Upper West Side. Meet up with me and other community members, including Mailman Dave Abbey and Tanya Wyman, and if he can get out of the studio, Radio Roger. The location and RSVP are in the show notes and on, you guessed it, Slack. So remember to RSVP, and until then, see you in Slack.
Thanks a lot, Hillel. All right. So we, as he just mentioned, we'll have that information in our show notes. I meant to talk about this during the Getting to Know Us segment and didn't think about it until
Nice save,
just
Jeff.
now. And so he said a location to be announced, but it looks like they've come up with the location now, the Dublin House on 225 West 79th Street in New York City. Again, that's Saturday, November 15th at 7 p.m. And if you look in the show notes there is an email address to email Tanya as far as, whether you're going to be able to attend this meetup in New York City. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I can head up that way and join
Why
everybody.
not?
I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Depending on whether I'm in town or not, we'll see. Okay. Again, information about the meetup next month on the 15th. We'll cover this in the next few episodes leading up to this as well. So thank you very much, Tanya and Hillel and Radio Roger and whoever else is going to be there for doing this. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. And we'd also like to thank our producer, Liz, who's joined us in the big screen. Hello,
Good
Liz.
job.
Liz. Thank you so much
My
for all the hard
pleasure.
work. And thank you again to Steve and Ivy and Stefan for being
was
able
honor.
to join our show
you.
today.
Yeah,
And,
great to see you guys.
Yeah. And thank you again also to Nigel, Hong Kong Nigel, for sending us the audio feedback and his.
Don't do that. Let it get big-headed.
Okay, well, never mind. Just I'll edit that out in post. So, yeah. Anyway, so with that, we're going to go ahead and say, wishing you all clear skies, unlimited visibility, and tailwinds. Take care and God bless.
Just half an hour.
Dankeschön.
You're welcome.
See you next time.
All right.
Alrighty. It's a good one. That was
Good
great.
job.
Let's see.
I got to run. I'm late for a meeting.
Liz, you're still
Cheers, AJ.
transmitting on Unity, I think.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, so again.
It's past midnight here already.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you get off to bed.
Yeah, so whoever needs to get out of here and go. But thank you.
Thanks, Stefan. Nick, you probably have the title, but I've got a couple of suggestions if you want any more. Do you want any more?
I've got the 3 Stephs.
Okay, the 3 Stephs good.
Airwolf New Attack.
Okay.
Metro Dock Airport B-B-Poo.
Yeah.
B-B-Poo.
Right.
That's it so far.
Okay, I've got the Rotary Club.
Oh, no, not doing that one.
Okay, all right. 747 takes a swim. And then in relation to NOTAM's still garbage? Question mark. And oh yeah, this is from the anonymous feedback. Stink eye. He got the stink eye from his flight attendants.
Okay, got those.
Tanya, I would drive the RVS up there, except that I think I'm supposed to be singing in a wedding on
You're
the
echoing
14th.
there, Jeff.
Yeah, well, it's not me. It's somebody else.
Oh.
Yeah, it was Stefan.
Yeah, okay.
I've committed to sing in a wedding on the 14th, so I'd have to fly up, I think, if I make it up there.
I think parking would be kind of difficult, wouldn't it, for the
Parking
RV?
might be kind of a challenge, maybe. I don't know. I'll just park it in Tanya's driveway.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Too bad she doesn't have a driveway.
There's no driveway, is there? Hey, Tillman, thanks for hanging with us.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, supporting your fellow German citizen.
Jawohl.
I bet you Tillman, does Tillman have a level 6 English certification? I wonder. Something to aspire to.
I don't know.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Cheers.
Bye.